Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to WOR Legacy Division. We are back from our second break week of the season as we take in, of course, round number 11 and the final third of the season from the Dutch Grand Prix at the Zandvoort International Circuit. My name is James Head. I'm going to be taking to the stream, of course, as always, on this fine Tuesday evening. And joining me in the commentary box, well, he's like the Backstreet Boys. He's like the Backstreet Boys. He's back again. It is Mr. Ross Greenhorn. Ross, how you doing?
Very good. Welcome back, everyone, to another great week of racing in the WR Legacy Division. Even I'm more surprised the fact I'm still here, but not to mention, luckily, this is my possibly last week here, so I'm looking forward to another fantastic race around Zandvoort, possibly one of the better tracks for racing. I must say, a personal favourite of mine to watch along and also commentate on. The Netherlands very much 15 tackling corners to take that middle sector being very difficult from Black turn 8, Marlborough, Renault and Vodafone being one of the hardest parts of the tracks to really hook up nicely, especially for the qualifying laps. Full qualifying session, 36 laps of good, clean racing ahead of us in the WR Legacy Division. One of the biggest talking points we must have to point out, though, James, we finally have a TBA. They are finally being announced to be announced, fully changed to the Veloce Academy.
They have indeed, and of course, Veloce Academy is the now unknown. Sam Gamer, of course, taking the win last week by only a tenth of a second. Yossi, if he had any better run coming out the chicane at Canada, I think he would have won the race, to be honest. But Sam Gamer out on top. Yossi there in second, or Sammy Chemsey, as we now know him as, of course, in Veloce Academy. Joe Murphy picking up BRT's second podium of the season as well, finishing in third. Then Vola Kong and Enzo run off the top five. Enzo Soom, of course, there for Veloce, along with Hazara in sixth. Markador 7th, Kazizel in 8th, Marlon 9th, and Ogween ran off the top 10. Then it was Matteo, Ethan, Ryan, Tales, and Yaron, the top 15. You've got a sneaky glint at the standings. I didn't mean to have that up first, but there they are anyways. Outplayed Racing out on top on 359 points. F7R are chomping at the bit though, 313 points, 46 points behind on OP, and they came to blows in PSF1 last night in PSGL with a couple of their drivers, so it's going to be interesting to see how that fallout happens again here tonight in the Netherlands. Veloce Academy, of course, now third, formally to be announced, 234 points to their name, but it is still close actually for third because Bunker Racing Team's in fourth and 200, Team Chazoo in fifth and 199, and then Novus Racing in sixth on 197. So close between them. Veloce Academy, though, they started off, remember, with 0 points. And because they got announced and everything, they had to get their points taken away. Now, the third in the championship, they are the team to watch out for. And Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall being their drivers here tonight. Very experienced lineup for the new Veloce Academy team.
Yeah, no, obviously drivers we knew that were going to be a part of this this transfer over from being to be announced the PSR to this all new Veloce Academy. It's just a massive opportunity for the drivers, so very best of luck and taking on that massive name, some of the best esports drivers being on that grid is something that should be encouraging them to hopefully possibly make that switch over to the PC world, which should also be a very exciting thing for them. An interesting lineup for them after the transfer period has just passed. Veloce was announced. We'll say Sammy Chemsey, following with Sam Gamer, Matthew Hall, Reese Linton, Kai Pearson, Enzo Soom, and VA Clenzo, a name we haven't seen a lot on the Xbox platform recently. F1 2021 Challengers drivers in there, like Tom Manley being one of the men to win that F1 Challenger series. So yeah, we might not see a lot of Clenzo, but still, Reese, Kai, Enzo, Matthew, and Sammy have a perfect chance to build on VA's fantastic run of form recently.
Yeah, it's a perfect lineup, I've got to be honest, from Veloce Academy. Of course, with Kai and Matthew in tonight, a very strong lineup around here. I know Matthew Hall is pretty quick around here from in the past NWR console tiers. And looking at the grid, of course, here tonight, Veloce Academy with Kai and Matthew. Louis Valentine and Benza in for OP. Benza did very well last night in PSGL in Hungary, so watch out for him here tonight, along with Louis Valentine, who picked up a podium in third. Hazara and Matteo in for ETA. Ghost King and GL Geel, as Joseph says normally, in the Alpines for G League. Yaron and Yossi in for F7R. Macho and Tom, an interesting on up there for Shazoo. Tom, very quick around this track in PSGL in the past. Gabor and Furious in for BRT. Nico and Justin in with qualifying bands. Keki and Daddlepad in for NLR, of course, and then Bowman and Axe in for NVR as well. And dare we look at what the conditions are out on track for Q1? Yes, we shall. It is raining for Q1 out on track. Rain seems light at the minute. It's one of those North Sea showers that we normally see at the track here in Zandvoort. But with the rain now falling out on track, and perhaps it could get worse, perhaps it could get better as the sessions go on, this is going to now put really the cat amongst the pigeons, and potentially with 3 drivers going to be out, apart from, of course, the 2 drivers of Justin and Nico with their qualifying bans for FRT, 3 places up for grabs. We could potentially see in those 3 a few shocks.
Yeah, 2 races in a row now. Wet qualifying 1 for the drivers. Canada last week was a full wet start to the session. This time, though, as you said, looks to be only an intermediate condition. Who will be first out on track is the bigger question, as you said. FRT, Nico and FRT just in double qualifying bans. So only 3 proper drivers have to do some laps and see themselves through into qualifying 2. It looks like we could be seeing some movement soon on the track. Right at the end of the pit lane at Gia, we'll say F7R Yossi is coming from McLaren, but the Ferrari, it looks, of the outplayed racing team leading the way. OP Benza jumping out the pit lane early on, so as double of the McLaren guys of Yossi and Jeroen. Yeah, like I said, the 2 title rivals, OP and S7R. This title is surely ramping up with every single race. Every point matters at this point for these teams. VA looking so strong, but OP and S7R, if they score some good points each week, it should be really close coming towards that final race in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it should be definitely in. Kieran Thomas is mentioning that our mics are lagging, which is not great whatsoever. I have updated my OBS and my laptop today as well, so it could potentially be that, or it could just be the fact that we might be having some Discord latency issues, and that has been the case in the last few weeks as well on this. But what we might do is maybe just drop the call and then come back in about 30 seconds time. We'll try and get that back though for sure. But Yossi's the first man out on the track, of course, for F7R for now. And of course, McLaren running a Jack Daniels livery and Las Vegas. Yossi having a big slide coming out of turn number 9 there. Very much car control central there from him. And Yossi looking to try and get on top of the field. Looking to try and get towards the top end of the podiums once again. And remember, of course, he was part of that lineup last week. He finished second, a 10th of a second down on Sammy Chemsey, who was there, of course, who's not here tonight. Of course, he participated last night in PSGL and, of course, last week winning in Canada. But Yossi now about to come through Ari Lundijk at turn number 15 through the banking, which was, of course, reprofiled in 2019 when the circuit was actually formed. First race since 1980. Yossi, though, on the run down towards turn 1. Let's round and ball with a lap with the Swissman.
Yeah, he goes in at turn number 1 there at Tarzan, hooking up nicely on that left-hand side down towards turn number 2, 3, and number 4. He was Gerlach, Hunserug, and Hugenholz down at turn number 4. This slightly banked corner, not as much as the infamous final corner, you know, that banking being very low down. Turn number 5 at Hunserug up next. Then at turn number 6, I'm not even going to attempt that one, that's far too Dutch for me. Turn number 8, or Skivlak going through nicely at this right-handed corner. You know, not a lot of steering input needed around this track. It's more just trying to get on the brakes nicely and onto the power. A lot of traction zones coming up soon at turn 9 at Marlborough, turn 10 now at Renault, a little bit of a slide there on exit, and turn 11 at Vodafone. He keeps on going very nicely indeed, close to that apex on the left-hand side, not riding out that carbon exit. He's going to fly on down. This would usually be a small little DRS straight to assist you on enter overtake. You want to go into turn number 12 at the RDS, the Hugenholz at turn number 13. So many great corner names, I have to say, at this fantastic Dutch track. He carries on though for the last 2 corners then. Kuham up next for turn number 14 and at turn number 15. The famous banked corner, one of the more corners where you look at it, you think that is actually not that steep, but in real life, much more steeper than it is in the game. Yossi though, hooked the lap up nicely, across the line shortly. A 16.777 is your benchmark.
Yeah, very good lap time actually from Yossi. 16.777. Of course, he can improve as well on those lap times. Hopefully he can, because it'll be a very good showing from the F7R man out on top. Apologies if there was any choppiness in the pictures, by the way. It is literally just Elgato dying on me and then having to reload everything in terms of the sound. Everything's going wrong, but hopefully it's going to be all okay. Yossi, though, out on top. We'll have a look at the times that are being set on the left-hand side as well. Benza and Jeroen were the other ones out on track. He has just came across the line to go 3rd. Benza there in 2nd, splitting the pair of the F7R drivers. Liam Bowman, the Flying Scotsman, is back for NVR here tonight. Now 53.4 in the middle sectors. Not looking too bad around here as well. Now, this is a track that I've actually won around here on this game, which I'm very proud to boast off on this stream, because I am probably well, I'm not better than these guys, but I am at least a race winner around here, which is what can be said maybe for half the grid, I think. But Liam Bowman now on the run to the line. The Flying Scotsman, chewing for 17.0. Not a bad lap there at all from the Scotsman, but it's Yossi out on top Furious there in second, Bender there in third. So very good lap time being set. Kai Pearson there in 10th. And of course, Matthew Hall there in 8th position early on as well. Veloce Academy definitely ones to watch out for. But Yossi out on top. Furious there in second, Bender there in third. And now I'm mistaking me because I do not know who Furious actually is in terms of thinking. It's the other BRT driver, whoever that is, might be... Oh, it's BRT Furious, isn't it? Oh my word. Ignore me.
Oh, good, James. Oh, good. The gamer tags do mess you up sometimes. Yeah, as you said, Liam Bowman back. 3 race bans picked up last time out in Belgium. Missed arguably probably his strongest track being Bahrain. But MVR looking to bounce back after what was not the greatest race last time out in Canada. Liam Bowman currently sitting 4th place in this session. OP Louis Valentine has went again on his current lap in 18.1. He's not happy with that. He had enough VRS and enough fuel to go again on the intermediate tyre. This session not drying up anytime soon. 3 comes in at turn 14, now turn 15 at this nicely back corner at the long right-hander, holding it all the way through nicely, close to the bottom left-hand side. Would usually be a DRS straight towards the line now, but Louis Valentine crossed the line, and as you can see there, Louis Valentine could improve it. 1.4 seconds improvement, 16.67. Oh, good stuff from the outplayed drivers, and increase that lead they've got currently to F7R, and also a chasing Veloce Academy. You see Mateo also starting off his lap. Shazoo Tom a little bit further on his lap, 26.6 in the first sector. 3 comes in wide at turn number 8. Turn number 9 he comes in very close to that right hand side curve. He seems to run a little bit wider at these corners. Turn number 11 at Vodafone to the left hand where he comes. He seems to be a little bit wider at some of these corners, not close to the apex as we've seen, but F7R Yossi answers back quickly though with a 16.1. James, I have to say though, the rain may have just turned off a bit.
Yeah, the rain has eased off a little bit indeed. There was talk certainly in the chat about rain in the race. 22% chance of rain at the start of the race, otherwise it's dry for the start. And of course, with these sessions now improving in terms of the weather, it is going to be very interesting indeed. As now you mentioned with Tom on the run towards the line, the Shazoo man going there third, 16.5. Not a bad lap actually on his first run on that set of intermediate compounded tyres. Now Furious going quicker for BRT, 15.9, fresh from Joe Murphy's podium of course 2 weeks ago. But you'll see there now second, now bettered by Bender. There's a yellow flag through the final sector. I think that is actually the other Ferrari, Louis Valentine, who's run out of fuel and he's actually coming bailing back into the pit lane. See anyone else that's on a lap right now as well. Keki, who forgot his car in PSGL PSF1 last week in Qatar, looking not forgetting which car he's in and what team he's in either, as he now comes through the right-hander, Barry Lundijk at the banking. Of course, the banking reprofiled around about 15% as my TV has just turned itself off. Bear with me. Everything going wrong. The pictures will come back very shortly indeed, but it was a good lap by Keki. Just going to see his lap time very soon. It's going to appear, and it's a 10th position with a 16.8. Goodness me, everything's going wrong with this.
Easily fixable, James. Easily fixable. Hazara there jumping into 4th place. 16.0 for him. Just in behind NLR Datopad, a name we haven't seen a lot in this WR Light Division season, but seems to be going pretty well for him so far. 16.0. Looks like OP Benza and PR Furious have found their limits right though. 15.9 for them. Only 3 thousandths separate between Benza and Furious. GL Ghost King. Shazoo Tom also improves on his lap with a 15.9. GL Ghost King though continue on with his first proper lap. Then the turn number 4. Then at the downhill. Oh, big slide through turn number 4. Hugenholz. He might have backed off this one now. That was a big mistake. Going downhill, lock of the rears, and that should be him finished with this lap.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what his first sector is like. The 26.3, it's purple apparently in the first sector. I don't believe that for 1 second. After that mistake coming out of Hugenholz at the banking at turn 3, now coming through the right-hand with turn number 8 and then in towards Marlborough at turn number 9 and Renault at turn number 10. Or now the Zandvoort International Circuit sponsored corner, as it's known in real life. Tom, Furious and Benz are currently in the top 3. Of course, Justin and Nico out of the session already. Both of them have got qualifying bans. Everyone else, Kapoor, Ghost King, GL, and Axe still haven't set a lap time on the board. A 52.6 though from Ghost King in that middle sector. Not looking too bad actually on this lap. The track is drying as it stands. The rain has stopped out on track completely, so we shouldn't see actually too long until we see the drivers in, maybe to see the track improve, and then we get going towards the final few minutes of qualifying on a set of soft compound tyre. But Ghost King now on the run to line proves that the track is improving at 15.6, and even with that mistake, a very, very strong match there by the Frenchman in the French outfit.
Yeah, you can see the dry line slowly starting to form now. The spray is really not as bad as it was at the start of the session. I see some dry tyres going on originally there for OP Louis Valentine. I believe he's backed out of picking it out. I think he has still got them stuff. He does a few soft tyres now being selected by some of the drivers, both F7R driver changing over, but Armateo going to cross the line now. Will he improve? Yes, he does, a 15.3. The track is definitely getting drier and drier the more the laps come in. You can see the dry line slowly starting to form. Gio for the other G League car, going up in second so far, but dry tyres should be getting used. To see there, DRS is now enabled. James, we have got a dry track ahead of us.
Yeah, dry track ahead of us, and with 7.5 minutes to go in the session, going to be very interesting. Daddlepad coming in, a 14.7. Of course, there was rumours that they could be getting a qualifying ban NLR from their slipstream shenanigans that they had in qualifying. They didn't actually get a qualifying ban for that. It was their slower laps that they actually used up a little bit of slipstream. The fast laps was no slipstream at all in turns. Daddlepad out on top, GLGL in second, Mateo there now in third for ETA. He's another man that we can definitely watch out for out on track as well. Tycho Hardy there in the chat saying, me, Tycho Hardy, Brothers, a Pro X driver, and Frankie Carrot are big fans of your commentary, James. Not sure who he's referring to there, but thank you very much for that. Nope, don't see you getting mentioned in that, Moss.
Sadly not. Sadly not. Hopefully I will one day. Maybe I'll step up my game a little bit more this week. But yeah, carrying on with the rest of the session. F1, BRT Gabor, Kai Pearson, and Matthew Hall. No laps on the board for them. Currently getting dropped out at Q1, being F1, BRT Gabor, and Kai Pearson. But yeah, as you've seen, DRS now enabled. Soft tyres will definitely be getting selected by a few of these drivers. Is the track dry enough? You know what, honestly, I'm not too sure. It's a bit of a gamble at the moment, but as this keeps going on and on, hopefully when Daddlepad comes in, you can see the timer in the top left of your screen. It should be not long left of the session, which would be such a dry time. 6 minutes left of the session, yeah. We'll definitely see some dry tyre too.
Yeah, definitely so indeed. Yeah, definitely so indeed. Apologies if there was a little bit of lag there. I think that might have been on your end. But Daddlepad out on top, GLG there in second, Mateo there in third. 14.7. By the time we get to the end of qualifying, this track should be fully dry, so we should see the driver setting 107s, 106s potentially in terms of the lap times, which should be actually very key to how we're going to see qualifying progress. But if you're a Veloce Academy driver right now, or Veloce Academy supporter, Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson, 15th and 16th position. I don't think I've ever seen them out on track yet. Same with Gabor and Axe. They haven't been out on track. They are literally sitting back, relaxing in their armchairs right now, in their setups. And neither of them has had a lap time. If I was them, would you be a little bit concerned? 15th, 16th, and one of your drivers currently out in qualifying.
Yeah, no, obviously no time for them so far. I've probably just seen how it's going to be a little bit drier towards the end of the session. Stay themselves with time, just sit and wait for it to go dry. You can see practically all of the grid now has selected dry tyres. Who's going to be the first car though out on track on the dry tyre is my big question. I really want to see it sooner rather than later. 4 minutes 45 left of this current qualifying session. NLR Daddlepad at the top for Never Last Racing. Gio in second place, and Armateo sitting in third. Not your usual 1, 2, 3 in qualifying. You've seen like Matthew Hall, Kai Pearson, BRT Gabor, something's up there as well. But that Canada qualifying game was something else as well.
It was indeed, yeah. Daddlepad, of course, I was speaking to you just before we came live. Daddlepad, former OP drivers, so we should not actually take that with a pinch of salt. We should look at it literally there and say, well, he's former OP, he's NLR driver, and now he's out on top in qualifying, albeit the times are a little bit sparsed about. We've got Liam Bowman there down in 14th on a 17 flat compared to the quickest time on a 14.7. But do not take anything away from the NLR man out on top. GLG there in second, Mateo there in third. The pad goat, by the way, Mubarak has just joined in the chat, which is always good. Hopefully he will have a better night than what he did last night in PSGL. But the less I say about that, the better, because I will get absolutely shot, I think, by him. But Daddlepad's out on top. GLG there in second, Mateo there in third. 3.5 minutes to go in qualifying. The drying track is now really much in the outset. Still cloudy conditions though, which means any driver that goes on a set of soft compound tyres, are they actually going to be working underneath these conditions? Because surely the tyres are going to be a lot colder, which means the drivers are going to have to work twice as hard basically to get them even turned on their laps.
Yeah, no, we're really interested to see, when are they going to come out. 3 minutes left of the session. They can't all leave it to the very last minute. They're going to have a very busy track ahead of them if they keep it going like this. I'm going to guess someone will be coming out hopefully shortly. I see some movement now in the NVR garage. Liam Bowman seems to be on his way out for his first proper soft lap incoming. The track looks dry enough now. The rain's fully stopped. It's dried up, and now we'll finally see those fast dry laps coming out. Liam Bowman lead the way early on with F1 following up in formation as well. So MVR will lead the way of this train. I think that's actually very much a big benefit for them, because everyone else now can have a massive chance to get some traffic and possibly get their lap ruined.
Yeah, it's a big benefit for them. They're out of sync, though, compared to everyone else, which I think is going to be the concerning factor around here. Do not be surprised, by the way, if we do see an illegal blocking penalty at any point in these 3 sessions, because it is very key around here. It's the only track, actually, in my League Racing career on this game that I've actually had an illegal blocking penalty around here. So it is very much key. We will see drivers fight for the track position, as we are actually mentioning that the Ferrari of Louis Valentine, I think, is coming up the hill. And look, there's so much little track, and there we go, Hazara, illegal blocking penalty. We're definitely going to restart. So literally, as I've said there, do not expect anybody not to get an illegal blocking penalty around here, because this track is so tight. Louis Valentine, though, fighting for that space out on track, and everyone fighting for track, maybe fighting for a little bit of fake slipstream as well, maybe a little bit of toe potentially down the straight, but everyone milling in that middle sector right now. Just looking through who is the first out on track, I think it is still Liam Bowman along with the other NVR man of Axe, but everyone is out on top. Bradley Holdham saying in the chat, though, someone tell has to go out the pit lane or they won't make it in time. They've got a qualifying ban, that's why you're seeing them in the grade out in 17th and 18th. They are already out of qualifying, 3 to go out of qualifying. As it stands, Kai Pearson, BRT Gabble, and Axe F1 are the 3 out if they do not improve their laps, which for me, as I mentioned at the start of qualifying, is huge shocks.
Yeah, and look how busy that third sector really is. At turn number 14, someone just absolutely flew by the rest of the field. Matthew Hall, as you said, yeah, flying past Liam Bowman there. You have to make a little bit of a gap now. Matthew Hall will lead this train. No time for him set yet, but this is a crucial lap for him. If he doesn't get this in, it could be an elimination for a Veloci Academy driver on their first appearance as officially the Veloci Academy in the WR Legacy Division. Through he comes in the end of sector 1. Hookenholz turn number 4. Hooks it up really nicely. You can see how much faster the track is now, being fully dry on the stock compound of tyre. He carries on down through turn number 5. Number 6 now at the uphill right-hander. And another downhill left-hander here at Skivlak at turn number 8. Matthew Hall then, hooking it up nicely. Will it be enough? Will he end up invalidating? I really hope not, because that would be major downfall for the Veloci Academy.
Yeah, it's looking good so far, I've got to say, on this lap. Now coming through the left-hand return number 10, and this is looking a very strong lap from Matthew Hall, of course, formerly NOX Cinderies, now comes through the left-hander of turn number 10, on the run towards turn number 11. We've got cars coming across the line. The AlphaTauri of Keki is the last one to come across the line on his lap, but it's a very good middle sector from Matthew Hall. We will see purple middle sectors, purple final sectors, purple every sector, I think, out on track. The colour is purple right now for everyone out on track. It's Daddlepad out on top, but it's definitely not going to be for long, because Matthew Hall's now on the run toward the line. Should be around a 108.5, a 108.2 even, for Matthew Hall. Very good lap time from him so far. Daddlepad is 4.5 seconds up on that. Liam Bowman there going in second, but the earlier that you get the lap time in, the more chance there is potentially for the likes of Axe and Liam Bowman in particular to drop down the field. Daddlepad now on the run to line. He puts himself in fourth. GL is on a lap. Mateo on a lap through the middle sector. Just trying to see who's furthest on. Furious for BRT now on the run to line. He goes fourth, so good lap from him. Axe is dropping down the field. Louis Valentine now in 8th position. He might be in trouble here. The OP man, Benzel there going 6th. Tom is coming through the Ariel Lundike section now, coming through turn 15 at the banking. Matthew Hall, Kai Pearson, BRT Gabor the top 3. Tom now for Shazoo on the run to line as he safe. Yes, puts himself into P4. Keki is the final man out on track. We've got GL and Hazara on a lap time as well. Hazara's about to come across the line. He goes 14th. Louis Valentine is in trouble and he's out. Louis Valentine for Outplayed Racing, the championship leader, one of their drivers, the winner in Legacy Division of Monaco, is out. Keki just about scrapes through. We'll have a full rundown now. It's Matthew Hall out on top, from Kai Pearson in second, BRT Gabor there in third, from Tom in fourth, then Liam Bowman in fifth, Furious in sixth, Yaron in seventh, Yossi in eighth, Benzer in ninth, Keki ran off the top 10, then Mateo, Ghost King, Gil, Daddlepad and Hazara top 15. But look at that, 9 thousandths of a second from Louis Valentine. However, is that grid penalty going to come into play? And are we only going to see, because Hazara's 15th, are we only going to see 14 drivers actually in Q2?
I hope not. I think it will only apply it later on. I hope that is the case, because that would be very, very bad for Hazara if he's cost himself that point of Q2 from the game being, very terrible on his end. But massive shocks, as you said, Louis Valentine, F1 for MVR as well. Not a usual culprit of exiting a Q1 session. And Shizou Macho, even in behind him, in 17th place. It's unbelievable what has gone on in that qualifying thing. James, you said at the start, there might be some shocks exiting to the wet in qualifying 1, but the dry has gave us some shocks. Louis Valentine, F1 out. Big ass now for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it turned into a one-shot qualifying session, and quite simply, Ohazara is luckily there in Q2, so actually his grid penalty will only get affected if he gets knocked out, I think, in Q2 or Q3. We will have restarts, of course, so all of this will be behind the scenes. Hazara, luckily, is in this Q2 session. But you mentioned there as well, it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers get on out on track. Remember, as well, along with Louis Valentine, Axe Macho were out along with Justin and Nico. So Axe and Macho. Macho again, homeboy hero around here. The Dutchman out of the session. Very, very strange to see him so far down the field. Down in 18th position. That's where he's going to be starting. But Q2 about to begin. Beautiful, well, near enough blue skies and sunshine here in Zandvoort on the North Sea. And Keki now is the first man out on track as he now comes through the banking at Hugenholz turn number 3. And we'll see what the AlphaTauri man can do out on track, what the Finn can do out on track as well. Kirby saying in the chat, a grid penalty in qualifying is crazy. It's not if you've got an illegal blocking penalty around here, put it this way. But Keki one of the first out on track, along with the other NVR man, Evelyn Bowman, who is now striking up a chord, as well as there's another driver in front. It mistakes me who it is. It's Ghost King, the first man out on track for G League as well. But 13 minutes ago in this session, and everything to play for, I think, in Q2. And again, with Louis Valentine out, I think we're going to see more shocks in Q2.
It really wouldn't surprise me at this point. Gio Ghost King furthest ahead of track so far. NLR Keki was ahead, but Ghost King overtakes him. He's on the intermediate tyre in qualifying number 2. Not on the old set of softs, in the intermediate. I'm not sure what he is planning to do, but those one we're just saving another set of softs, I'm going to be guessing. Yep. But I think he's realised now what his mistake has been, and he's going to go back into the pit lane to put on a set of soft compounds. NLR Keki, though, rounding out the final corner now with turn number 15. Starting off his first flying lap of qualifying.
Yeah, let's run on board with them. On the run now, down in towards Tarzan at turn number 1, and normally an overtaking spot around this track here at Zandvoort. Now through the right-hander of turn 1 on the curve there, coming out now through the left-hander 2, and then through the right-hander 3, and then in towards Hugenholz at turn number 4. Looking very nice, I've got to say. Keki coming through that part. One of my favourite sections out of the track mirrors Portimao in terms of the roller coaster section. Then getting up in towards my favourite corner out on the track through turn 7. Sky Flat at turn number 7, and a 24 flat from him. Very, very good so far in terms of lap. Looks very clean. Now coming through the right-hander turn number 8 in towards Marlborough corner at turn number 9. But he runs wide like Tony Hawk, and he's in the gravel. Keki runs wide. Very similar to what Tom actually did in a league race around here, the Shizou man. But Keki there off into the gravel. Tony Hawk style on that curve. That curve is so deadly around this track. Keki has just found the gravel because of it.
Yeah, you can see it is possible to spin out in Zandvoort, and it is perfectly proven there by NLR Keki. A bit of a shock to see him spin that, to be fair. Not used to seeing him being one of the spinners around at this part of the track, but anyway, they're still carrying with the rest of the cars, they're still out on track, finishing off their first flying laps of the session. Keki will also back out with that one. It looks like it's going to be Liam Bowman getting himself finished off with this lap because an 8.5 early on. Not too bad from the Scotsman. Next, of course, going to be Shizou driver of Tom. Tom, of course, in the second place. And then Kai Pearson next. He jumped to the top as usual. An 8.4 from him. The Ferrari next of OP Benza. Benza goes to the top with an 8.3. NLR Daddlepad can't follow up. An 8.6 and a 4 for him.
Yeah, and watch out for F7R Yossi as well. The F7R guys, actually, Rona's coming through ahead of him, but Yossi's looking very quick through that middle sector. Watch out for him in terms of qualifying. Yaro now on the run toward the line. The other Dutchman that we've got, of course, here, we've got a few Dutchmans actually here tonight as well. Yaro now on the run to the line, goes second. Where's Yossi going to go? The man who finished P2 last week goes P2 in qualifying so far, but look at that, only 17 hundredths of a second splitting the pair of Benza and Yossi. Yaron there in third, and Kai Pearson now all of a sudden down in fifth because Zara sets a very good lap time there for ETA. 108.4, really cooking the Norwegian in recent times here in Legacy Division, and certainly proving why he is one of the top drivers in ETA, former Team Norway racing driver back in the day in, I think it was TML F5 that I covered on him once, one a week, but Hazara there in third. He has had a meteoric rise, I've got to say, in league racing. He's there in third and showing why he really does mean business. But it's Benzer out on top, it's Yossi in second, Hazara there in third. First lap times of qualifying done. Interesting, though, that Matthew Hall, Keki, who came back in the pit lane after that mistake, the Ball, Ghost King, Furious and Jill have not actually entered the track just yet, apart from obviously Keki, who we saw spin. But everyone, Matthew Hall, Gabor, Ghost King, Furious and Gil, have not actually set foot on the track. So again, keeping the soft compound tyres potentially for the race.
Yeah,
for Pete's sake, what the hell's going on? There we go. What the hell? Come on, bloody reset. For God's sake. Yes, man. Apologies, by the way, if you can hear me on the stream. Yeah, we're having a few issues on my end, so apologies. I think we're back live. Give me a second. I'm just trying to...
If you see himself nicely, BRT could be on for a very, very good little lineup here.
You didn't hear me, did you, there? Oh no, Ross is now going. I don't know what was going on our stream. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section, because this has just gone to absolute pot and the stream might have just died. But if you can hear me, please prove that. I can see the stream moving, so it's all good. Can Ross Greenhorn hear me now, though?
Can hear you now, yeah, it's fixed.
I don't know what happened. My internet died on my laptop and everything. Nothing happened, and I didn't lose connection elsewhere. I think it's just my laptop giving up. But there we are. Lap 2's out of qualifying now beginning. Furious there with a 23.8 through the first sector, looking good. Benzer out on top though, Yossi in second, Hazara there in third. Apologies to anyone that missed that, by the way, and missed me potentially swearing on the stream as well. Luckily you didn't hear that, but if you did, I apologise. It is just frustrating and everything is going wrong. But at least we've got connection back, and at least we can have a stream as Furious comes in the middle sector with a 47.3 in that middle sector.
Yeah, Furious was flying nicely on that lap. As he was starting off, he was getting a bit busy with everyone behind, but he kept it going nicely through. He comes at the last two corners then. Done with 14 and 15, this long right-handed banked corner, close to the inside line, nice and early. Doesn't turn out close to the wall, as I see some other drivers do, but Furious across the line now, easily to the top, and 8.1 is now at the time to beat next across the line. Gio, he doesn't improve much more either. He's up in a fourth with an 8.3. Next across the line looks to be the Aston Martin of BRT Gabor. Gabor across the line, only into fifth place for him. And the Red Bull, Matthew Hall. Can Matthew Hall jump to the top? No, he cannot. He matches Furious though with a 0.1.
Kai Peterson, though, looking very strong. 2.5 tenths up in that middle sector. Now coming to the left-hander of turn number 12. In towards the right-handers of 13 and 14. Furious, Matthew Hall, Benzer currently at the top. But you haven't really missed much actually in qualifying. So luckily the stream went down when it did. But Kai Pearson now is on the run to line. Surely going to go quickest. And he does. What a 108 flat puts it now between himself and Furious by nearly a 10.5 of a second. Liam Bowman, though, comes back at him and splits the pair. It's pretty much like qualifying a few weeks ago. I think it was in Qatar, if I'm not mistaken, between these two. Kai Pearson and Liam Bowman absolutely at hammer and tongs there. And once again, we've got the same scenario as we did in Qatar. Kai Pearson and Liam Bowman out on top, 1-2 in Q2.
Yeah, very good stuff from Kai, almost breaking that 7.9 barrier as early as a middle part of qualifying too. So yeah, really good to see his pace finally start to show once again. Liam Bowman as well though, not far off Kai at all. Furious in third as well. Matthew Hall sitting in fourth. The Veloci Academy never fail to impress us in qualifying, James, and I tell you what, they are not failing this time either. OP Benza is just keep going on his lap as well. So F7R Jeroen just crossed the line there in sixth place. Now to be the Mercedes of, I believe, Mateo is still carrying on. The rest of his lap is actually going to be Ghost King into the pit. I'm trying to find a driver on a lap, but F7R Yossi. Here we go. Yossi across the line next. Can Yossi be the one to jump to the top of the session? He crossed the line and into third place goes the F7R driver. 8.1. Not close to Liam Bowman and Kai Pearson, but yeah, again, another fantastic lap by them.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm mentioning, by the way, my struggles out on track because Barak mentioned first time I saw James struggling. He hasn't seen me out on track yet, and you guys haven't seen me out on track yet, that's for sure. And I don't think you would want to, even though I've had 4 wins this season. Kai Pearson, though, out on top, Liam Bowman in second, Yossi there in third. Apologies if you are experiencing a little bit of lag. I think everything is just fixing itself, just settling down. My drop frames is actually on 0, which is really strange, given that the stream actually disconnected and OBS disconnected as well. But Kai Pearson out on top, Liam Bowman in second, Yossi there in third. Very good lap times though being set by everyone. Currently out though in Q2 right now by only 3,000ths of a second if we were to stop the session now is Gabor. Gabor there in 11th position, of course, former Legacy Division driver, former console Tier 2 driver, of course, in Season 15. He did a fantastic job there, along with Hazara, Keki, Ghost King, and Tom. They are the 5 currently out. And for me, personally, don't see a shock, actually, in all of those 5. They are some of the expectations that you might see in terms of who gets knocked out. Keki may be a one that is a little bit rogue, because he's quite strong around this track, but the others I see as being potential candidates for being knocked out here in Q2, and that doesn't mean to offend anyone, and I don't mean to do that on this stream, but with them currently out in this session by only 3,000ths of a second, Gabor needs another lap in, as do the rest of them.
Yeah, I know the likes of Tom, Ghost King, Keki, Hazara, and Gabor need to get that lap in. So Gabor 3,000ths in behind Gio. Currently, Gio, I'm sure, will have some more time on his lap as well. But BRT Gabor down in the bottom 5, and not something we are used to being at the front, fighting away for almost that pole position. This time, though, maybe not. But you can see just how close the grid really is, James. You know, first place only being separated by, let me just find that out now. You know, first place only separated by 3/10 down to 9th place of our Mateo. So, you know, 3/10 still the gap is between them. 1.5 separates first and 6th place. So, you know, not really a lot of margins there. Fine margins, really, for these drivers. You can see nice and early out, though. It looks to be Matthew Hall out early, up in 6th place. Thinks he can improve on his lap. If he does improve, it will easily see him through in the qualifying 3.
Yeah, the Veloce Academy man has got, I think, a little bit of pressure on him, though. 108.178. I think is enough to get through into Q3, but if he's just wanting to give himself a little bit of assurance, give the team a little bit of assurance as well, just improves that lap by 1/10 of a second, and then he's completely safe, I think. Everyone in behind might struggle to try and improve on the laps that have already been set. Looking at the Hall of Fame as well, actually coming into tonight as well, the Hall of Fame has been updated in the Legacy Division Discord, and Otis Lawrence still holds the amount of race wins, but very interesting, actually, in terms of the team wins that we've had this season. Veloce Academy have had 2, Parnell Racing's had 2, even though they're kind of the same team, and they've just merged for each other. Both of them have had 2 wins. F7R's had 2, and Outplay Racing have had 5. So, really speaks about the amount of team wins, and currently you've got a Veloce Academy man in P1, an F7R man in P3, and Benza there for OP and P5. So, actually mirrors what we've got in terms of the Hall of Fame. But 4 wins for OP this season as well really comes to show how strong I think this season's actually been on paper.
Yeah, no, it really has been one of the seasons to stand out from for Outplayed Racing. Always been that team fighting away for 3rd or 2nd place. This time, though, they really took their challenge and going for that top spot in the Legacy Division. I tell you what better time to do it than right now. Matthew Hall, though, getting himself set up for what will be his final lap of qualifying to out nice and early ahead of everyone else. May have a little bit of traffic ahead, but shouldn't be a worry at turn number 4 then, who can up nicely at this downhill left-hander, goes up towards the end of sector 1 then. Just a little short run up the hill before we go right back down the hill at turn number 8. You can see sector 1 lane coming up, 1/2 up in that first sector. That is enough of an improvement to put him up into P3. Will he get ahead of his teammate? That is more of the big question for him. Through he comes at turn number 10 then at Renault, that really close right-handed apex, keeping it nice and close. And turn number 11 at Vodafone as well, coming up soon. That inside curve being very harsh to you if you ride it all the way. He just clips it very nicely and does exactly what he needs to do down towards the end of the lap then. A very busy sector 3 coming up, 1/10.5 up and a purple middle sector, it says. Through he comes in, bit of traffic ahead. He carries on the rest of the lap though. Can Matthew Hall be the man to jump it on pole early on? It'll be a big ass, but if he can do it, it would be one to get some, you know, at least some of that nerves that he's having in qualifying 2 and really show something in qualifying 3. Matthew Hall then 1/10.5 up is the top of the session for the Veloce Academy man. It is a 7.9 is shown, and Matthew Hall goes to the top.
Yeah, very good lap from him. Furious, though, for BRT's looking quite quick. He's 400s up in the middle sector. We've seen improvement, I think, of Gabor going 7th. So BRT currently cooking on gas. Furious now looking to put it ahead of Yossi. Goes 4th. It looks like he's safe. 108 flat from him. Gabor obviously just finishing off on his lap. Benzer's through the middle sector. Yossi through the middle sector as well. Just trying to see actually who furthest on out on track. I believe it's Tom actually coming through the final corner. He's 2.5 tenths up, nearly 3 tenths up actually on the run to the line. The Shazuman goes 7th. Is that enough? A 108 209. Gonna be tricky, I think, to try and find improvement. Matteo is improving. GL is improving. Hazara is not. So Hazara is definitely out for ETA. He's had a moment, I think, into the wall. The right side end plate, I think, is hanging off on that car. So Hazara there is out of the session, as is Keki. Ghost King is the only one I think can actually really improve. Matteo, though, is coming through the final couple of corners. Matthew Hall, Kai Pearson, Yossi currently in the top 3. Now Benzer goes quickest by 300ths of a second over Matthew Hall. Matteo now for ETA. One already out. Is it going to be a second? No. Goes 6th. Tom is in trouble, though, with a 108-2. Gabor obviously not improving. GL now on the run to the line, looking to try and spoil the party. No, he doesn't. Tom is safe there in 9th, as is Gabor there in 10th. Yaron is the one that has been shockingly eliminated there of Q2. F7R man out, G-League out as well, GL and Ghost King. Hazara out and Keki out as well, but it's Benzer out on top. Matthew Hall there in 2nd, Kai Pearson there in 3rd. He knew he'd done enough, he backed off in the middle sector, but everyone through the top 10 in Q3. But your own F7R, again, I'm not mistaken when I say these things. When I say there's going to be a shock, there will be a shock, and your own there is a huge shock for F7R.
Yeah, Louis Valentine out in Q1 for our championship leaders. Yaroon out in Q2 for the team chasing them down for the lead of the championship. A big surprise, you said, double GL elimination in qualifying 2. Hazara as well, just hit the wall, lost that end plate, and then Keke invalidated his final lap. Possibly another one you could say is quite a shock to be out in qualifying 2. But at the end of the day, though, OP Benza, what a lap in the end to outdo Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson for Veloce Academy 2-3. OP Benza, though, splitting them from that top spot for a 1-2. Benza, maybe an underdog for this pole position.
Yeah, definitely so. Harvey there saying in the chat, don't know if it's just me or if the game sound does not match to what the cars are doing. That might be because the stream went down a little bit, and I panicked for a minute and didn't know what the hell was going on. But you've only there in 11th is out of the session. If it does, I have just done a fix there on the game sound, so hopefully it's okay now. If not, let me know. I'll try and do more fixes as we go through the night. But Benzer's out on top. Matthew Hall there in 2nd. Kai Pearson there in 3rd, with Yossi in 4th. Liam Bowman there in 5th. Mateo there rounding off the top 6. And then it's Furious in 7th. Daddlepad there in 8th. NLR doing a good job actually to get one in, with Tom there in 9th and Gabor rounding off the top 10. Then it's Yaron, GL, Ghost King, Hazara, and Keki, the 15 drivers. And I mean, 4.5 tenths, or 5 tenths of a second, actually just under, covering the top 15 there in qualifying. Just comes to show how Q3 is going to be in terms of the session. And the top 5 covered by 800ths of a second. If that does not whet the appetite for Q3, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I really don't know what to expect in this qualifying 3. Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson looking strong. Ben's all of a sudden. Liam Bowman not to be written off as well. So many opportunities for these drivers to show themselves and take that that pole position for their team would be massive for the likes of MVR, who are trying to chase down that 3rd place currently with Veloce Academy there, but trying to beat Bunga Racing Team is one of the big things for Novus Racing as well. But qualifying 3 coming up shortly then. I'd love to see your predictions in the chat. Who do you think it's going to be? Matthew Hall and Kai looking strong. Benza top in qualifying 2. Who's it going to be in the end, ladies and gentlemen? Please let us know in the chat.
I'm going to go completely bold and brave, and I hope this is brilliant tactician me thinking about Q3 here. I think Yossi's going to take pole position. He's there in 9th position, and he hasn't shown as much as what we might have seen, but that qualifying session from him, he was 4th, behind Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall, who are arguably maybe holding something back, I think, in terms of qualifying. Yossi there in 4th, though. Normally, when it matters, it is Q3, so I think it's him for pole. I'm going to go Matthew Hall for 2nd, and I think Liam Bowman is going to be in 3rd. And if that is worth a fiver, like Jack West is mentioning there in the chat, poll's going to be a 107,679. Commentators owe me a fiver. If I get it, we don't get paid, so unfortunately we don't have any money to give you if we have the £5. Right, literally, it's different currency, I'm sure, up Scotland. I think it might be the same currency up there, though. But in different parts of Europe, we will not give you that far because we can't afford it. We don't get paid for this privilege of giving you Legacy Division here tonight. But out on track, we're going to be seeing. Harvey's mentioned in the chat as well. Will do was only noticeable on board with one of the cars towards the end of the session. Yeah, as I say, the stream died partway through Q2, so apologies about that. And Pascal mentioned in the chat, Yossi Vapol. See, Kian's dad knows what is going on.
Yeah, really don't know what to expect here. To be honest, a couple of people thinking Yossi for pole isn't a bad shout, James. I think, to be honest, I wouldn't write it off either. So many drivers able to take that pole position, but for me personally, I think I'm going to have to go Matthew Hall. I do think Matthew Hall's got it in to take the pole position ahead of Kai Pearson, ahead of OP Benza. You know, Kai, probably his biggest rival in terms of taking this pole position now. But in the end, as you said, maybe Yossi comes out on top. Liam Bowman could pull out an absolute flyer of a lap. I really don't know what to expect. But both BRT drivers out nice and early. I'd love to see who we see on top and starting off this race. 36 lap race ahead of us. Is it wet? We are not sure. I believe it is a full dry race. We hope it is a full dry race because we do love a good fast race around the Netherlands. And I tell you what, Furious and Gabor not getting a pace on now, but setting themselves up for it'll be their first qualifying laps over the last part of qualifying 3.
Yeah, definitely so. Sam Gamer, by the way, most wins so far this season in Legacy Division. 3 to his name here in Season 3. Reese Linton has had 2 between Season 2 and Season 3 as well. And out of Season 3, the drivers that we've had, OP Louis Valentin, Marcados, Nando, Yossi, Kian, and Mubarak. So we've had 7 different winners this season already out of the 10 races that we have. We're now on race 11 in the Netherlands. Are we going to have a different winner? Or are we just going to see more pure domination from the Veloce Academy side and maybe see one of their drivers get their first wins of the season as well? But Furious is the first man out on track. BRT Gabor following on and behind as well. And BRT are definite underdogs, I think, here in Q3. 6th and 7th currently out on track. They've done well to get through at this part of the session as well. And I would not count my lucky stars if BRT are not potentially with one of their drivers in the top 5 by the end of qualifying. Because remember, Ross, one mistake costly around here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Keke have that mistake in qualifying 2, and now he is out of the session down in P15, starting on the grid. But PR Furious then, starting off his final part of qualifying, his first lap of qualifying, should I say, 8 minutes to go with the session. Furious comes into turn number 1 then, hooks it up nicely, smike little clip of the left-hand side curve, turn number 2 and number 3, fly at you fast, and turn number 4, the downhill left-handed corner at Hugenholtz, up the hill, he back comes in at turn number 5 at Hunserug, and up through turn number 6. You can see it has a lot of elevation changes, up the hill, down the hill, back up the hill now, and down the hill through Skivalak at turn number 8. Through he comes in, very nicely indeed, through that middle sector, turn number 9 at Marlborough, turn number 10 at Renault, and then he's got one more corner to attack in the middle sector at turn 11 of Vodafone. He seems to have hooked up this banker lap pretty nicely. Is it 2 brand new set of soft fronts? I have to wait and see what the time is. 7.9 was the back end of qualifying 2. Will the early part of qualifying 3 be faster than that? I really would like to see it as he comes on through turn at number 13 now at the RDS, carries on the last 2 corners now. Kumo up ahead for turn number 14, and the famous banked right-hander at turn number 15 for the Aston Martin. PR Furious for Bunga Racing Team, his teammate up behind him, finishing off his first lap as well. Can Furious be jumped to the session? He can jump to the top, but with an 8.1, I'm not sure what to expect from the rest just yet.
Matthew Hall is 2 tenths up in that middle sector on Furious alone, so he's going much quicker than Furious right now. It's going to be around a 107. Gabor there, 108 flat, goes quickest for Matthew Hall, a 107.8, and is quicker than his lap time set in Q2 already. So Matthew Hall looking very good so far. Kai Pearson is even quicker in that middle sector, slightly up, I think 1100ths of a second I make that between Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson in that middle sector. Now on the run to the line, he goes second though, in behind, so he lost time I think on the part of the lap, the first part of the lap. Tom now on the run to the line, 47.2. He goes 4th ahead of Furious. Furious there dropping down the field. Mateo just starting up on the run. It looks like he's got gravel though on his tyres, so I wonder if he's had a little bit of a mistake. 23.8 though in the first sector, certainly backs that up. Benza is up in that middle sector as well, 47.1 in that middle sector, so looking on par with what Kai Pearson is setting right now, out on track, but with 6.5 minutes to go, Matthew Hall, Kai Pearson, but Benza now out on top, 107.894. You cannot get closer than that in Q3. Benza from Matthew Hall, 1,000th of a second between them. I'm only halfway through qualifying.
What an unbelievable lap at the start of qualifying. I have to say, an 8.94 for OP Benza, 1,000th of a
Liam
second
Bowman.
ahead of Matthew Hall. Liam Bowman had just seen there. Sector 2 was purple for the Scotsman. Can he be the man to possibly take a pole here for NVR? They are yet to take a pole position, yet to take a win in the Legacy Division. Can they do it today? We'd love to see it. Liam Bowman across the line now. It is to the top for Liam Bowman.
Wow.
An 8.63 is a flyer of a lap from the NVR driver.
Yeah, very strong lap by the Scotsman, the Flying Scotsman here in Legacy Division, doing a fantastic job. The NVR man there is out on top. Benza there in second, Matthew Hall there in third. The only lap time not to be set so far is Yossi. Daddlepad joined late into the session. I didn't even know, actually, that he left the session, but he has just rejoined. Yossi there is down on his lap at 50 flat in the middle sector, nowhere near the lap time that we normally see around here. But Liam Bowman out on top. NVR partying like it's 1969 right now. Benza there in second, Matthew Hall there in third, but Yossi there is into the pit lane, and he is going to be the only driver, along with Daddlepad, that hasn't set a lap time so far. Mateo as well, 2 tenths down on that first sector. I'm not sure if he's actually pushing again. It looks like he might have run out of fuel, though, coming out through this middle sector. Liam Bowman from Benza for Matthew Hall, the top three. Mateo there down in seventh right now. But a very interesting qualifying session. Just got even more interesting, I think, by the fact that Liam Bowman's now out on top.
Yeah, I know, really is ramping up now. As you said, your current pole position teams don't have an invalidated lap. Down in 10th place, Liam Bowman flying at the top with an 8.63. Ben's also in the point 8, along with Matthew Hall. 3 drivers in the point 8, all separated by around half a tenth. Is something that is creating a massive spectacle heading into the last part of qualifying. 4 minutes to go in the session then. Liam Bowman looking strong. Benza as well looking strong. Couldn't see a shock MVR pole, their first of WR Legacy Division. That would be something for the team to remember.
Yeah, apologies, by the way. Banger Bros has mentioned why it blurred out slightly. I was fixing the Elgato capture card again in terms of the game sound. So that is why you might have just seen a little bit of blur on the screen come up. Trust me, it is my laptop. My laptop is giving way, quite literally in front of your eyes. Hopefully it can last through the entire stream. I really hope it can. But Liam Bowman out on top, Benza there in second, Matthew Hall there, currently in third. 3.5 minutes just over to go in this session. Let me know in the comment section, or let us know even in the comment section, who you are predicting for pole position right now and what you think that lap time be. Jack West, I'm coming back to his comment that he mentioned a little bit early on. A 107.679. Commentators owe me a fiver if I get it. Right now, we're 2 tenths of a second off that pole position. Are we going to see a time as close to a 107.6? And is that just wishful thinking from Jack West?
Possibly, you have to say from Jack West, so we know how good of a driver he is. We could see Kai Pearson pick up that 10th. Thinks he's lost in the sector 3. Could be major for taking a pole position. We know Kai Pearson is one of the fond members of taking a pole position this season. He took it twice already. If he can make it a third time, that would be something else. We've just seen Kai Pearson, Reese Linton 1-2 in these kind of sessions, but no Reese Linton today. Matthew Hall, though, proven a strong challenge for his teammate. We currently sit in third place. Kai Pearson sitting in fourth place. Kai make his way out on track, though. The McLaren of S7R, Yossi, the only S7R driver through into qualifying 3 after that shock elimination for F7R Jeroen. Their fight for the top slowly getting halted, but as you said again, the OP Lou Valentine down in P16. So, you know, really is a tough situation for some of these championship teams. Veloci Academy, though, they are flying with the 2 ahead.
They are definitely flying indeed, but it's going to be interesting. Can Kai Pearson even match potentially Liam Bowman and Benza in terms of his lap times? Currently not on paper, he can't. A tenth of a half off on Liam Bowman's pole position time right now. Yossi is the first man out on track, by the way. My pick for pole position, by the way, I have you know, he's down in 10th position right now. He's letting me down so far in terms of the session. But the Swiss man was very much up there in Canada 2 weeks ago. I keep on saying last week. 2 weeks ago, of course, it was for Yossi and Sam Gamer. That brilliant battle to the line that we had between them both. Yossi there in 10th right now. No lap time on the board. Daddlepad the same. What can we expect from the NLR man and the F7R man in this session?
Yeah, only time will tell in that sense. Yossi furthest ahead on track currently. You've got PR Furious in behind him for Bungo Racing Team. Then you've got his teammate Gabor just in behind them as well. The track is nicely separated, I have to say. Looks like no more blocking penalties coming in. But oh, never mind. Just as I jinx it, Shizu Tom gets a penalty, but that won't matter. We're getting a restart anyway. F7R Yossi for one final time in this session will cross the line and start himself off for one final lap. Through he comes at turn number 1 at Tarzan, keeping it close to the right hand side curve. Third gear all the way through, holds it out nicely and carries on with the rest of the lap through turn number 2 and through number 3 and number 4 now. Hasenhutel at turn number 4, the downhill left-hander, and back up the hill for turn number 5, 6 and 7 for the McLaren. Tell you what, looking pretty good so far for him. Sector 1 split coming up shortly for him. Wow. A 23.7, I suppose, a purple for a sector. How true that is, I am not sure.
This is actually a very good first sector from Yossi, really on the limit, coming out of Hugenholt at turn number 3 at the banking. He's a little bit shaky coming through this middle sector now, really having to fight the car. Bit of snap of oversteer there coming through turn 9. Now from the left-hander of turn number 10, again fighting the car through that part of the lap, but Yossi looking very, very strong, I've got to say, in this middle sector. 47.2, bang up there with what we saw in the first run, so he's definitely up there. Whether or not he's going to be on par with Liam Bowman and Benzer remains to be seen. He's out on top. It's Liam Bowman from Benzer from Matthew Hall. Currently in the top 3 is now Yossi. Comes through the right-hander of turn number 14 at Ari Lundijk. Through the banking he comes. Now on the run to line. Is the Swiss man out on top? No, goes 4th. There goes my prediction for pole. Liam Bowman, there was purple in the first sector. Very strong first sector from him. Beotol Gabor now on the run to line. Furious goes quickest with a 107.8. Even shocking from the BRT man. Fantastic lap from him. Literally rode on board with him. Now on the run to line, Gabor comes. He doesn't actually improve in terms of his run. Seen next up on the line, Kai Pearson is improving. Goes quickest. 107.782. Very good lap time from him. What are the rest doing? Benzer is off in the middle sector. Matthew Hall there is down in second. Benzer certainly done. Mateo there going into 6th position. Tom is through the middle sector as well. But here comes the flying Scotsman, Liam Bowman. 600 top, 47 flat in that middle sector. Looking to try and beat Kai Pearson on the run to line. He does! 107.728. Liam Bowman, the flying Scotsman, is out on top here in Legacy Division. From Kai Pearson in 2nd, Matthew Hall there in 3rd, Furious there in 4th. Again, one of my predictions about BRT completely right, but the flying Scotsman comes alive once again, and he defeats Kai Pearson. Where have we seen this one before between them both?
Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall threw everything at it. But Liam Bowman answered back with some tremendous lap. And what a lap it was, I have to say. He was up in every single sector. He dropped a bit of time in the middle, but that last sector was an absolute flyer. And a 7.728 is a lap to be proud of. And a pole position for the first time this season for Novice Racing. That, I tell you what, something to be very proud of for them. A very strong race. Looking forward to that. Axifon out in Q1 did not hinder their hopes. And Liam Bowman is on pole, but behind him, Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall chasing down that victory as well. You know, it's a tough ask for him.
Yeah, very, very tough ask for him indeed. I can't get any prediction right, by the way. Yossi there down in P7 for my pole position. He bottled it. He had that pressure from me. He bottled that in 7th position. But Liam Bowman out on top. Kai Pearson 2nd, Matthew Hall there in 3rd. Remember, we are getting that restart after this Q3 session, so we will go to an intermission break. I'm going to fill up my drink, certainly, because I'm definitely going to need that from Legacy Division. But fantastic lap time by the flying Scotsman of Liam Bowman. He is out on top here in WOR Legacy Division. And look at the top 3, only 0.08 of a second covering the top 3. Kai Pearson there in 2nd, Matthew Hall there in 3rd, Veloce Academy in their first official race under their name, doing a fantastic job there in 2nd and 3rd. Furious there in 4th, with Benzer there in 5th, then Mateo in 6th, Yossi there in 7th, Tom there in 8th, and Daddlepad in 9th, and Gabor rounding off the top 10. Fantastic lap time from Liam Bowman. He is out on top. We're going to take a break now. We're going to be back when the lights go green. We will bring you, of course, the adverts and all the action on the other side of this break. We'll bring you the adverts for now from Next Level Racing and from GridFinder. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone, to WOR Legacy Division. We are here tonight for round number 11 of the championship as we take in the Zandvoort Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix from the Zandvoort International Circuit. Of course, myself, James Head, and I nearly forgot your name. I was going to call you Liam Bowman for a second there, but Liam Bowman's the man out on top. It's Ross Greenhorn. That's alongside me, of course, in the chat, a part of NVR himself, of course. And Liam Bowman out on top, the Flying Scotsman, once again, coming alive. It's almost as if he had a breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, absolutely flew in that final lap into the .7s and beat the two Veloce Academy drivers, a newly rebranded team from to be announced into the Veloce Academy, one of the strongest brandings we've probably seen in the F1 history. And well, they're really proving it again tonight. Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall, second for Kai Pearson, third for Matthew Hall. So Liam Bowman, he's got his work cut out from his teammate XF1 down in P16. It's a tough ask for MVR, but if Liam Bowman can get MVR's first win of the WR Legacy Division, that'll give him a massive boost in trying to claim third place this season.
Yeah, definitely so. Tom, by the way, is mentioned in the Discord. Grid is done, but my Wi-Fi is looking a bit sus right now. That is the last thing that you want to say for the drivers readying up in the lobby. Hopefully it'll hold. Hopefully it'll be all okay. And hopefully the stream will keep running as well, certainly on my end. But Outplayed Racing leading the way in terms of the championship coming into tonight. F7R there in second on 313, a 46-point differentiation between both Outplayed Racing and F7R. Then Veloce Academy in third on 234, better than not to be announced or whatever their team was known as in the past here. Bunga Racing team in fourth on 200, then Team Jizu in fifth on 199. Novus Racing in second on 197. They're definitely not going to be on that total for too much longer. NLR Esports in seventh on 162. Then G League in eighth on 152. Then Parnell Racing in ninth on 142. EC8 in 10th on 100. Future Racing team in 11th on 83. And Nexus Racing there in 12th. And now the Funk team, of course, they're back down in 12th on 35 points. Let us have a look then at what you guys have got to look forward to out on track. Let's have a look at the track map here in Zandvoort. 4.2 kilometres in length, 2.6 mile, 14 turns. Wait, now our drivers out on track. Just the two DRS zones, one down the start finish straight in towards Tarzan at turn 1, and then one down in towards Renault at turn number 11. The Renault chicane at turns 11 and 12. Plenty of opportunities for overtaking, plenty of good racing to be had around this track, and maybe the drivers will take a bit of inspiration from me trying to go around the outside of Sky Flag.
Yeah, that would be something to say, James. You've done the same as a driver in the WR Legacy Division. That is a nice little title to carry along with you. You can see, line up on the grid, a lovely sunny day here in Zandvoort. Looking forward to a fantastic race. I see the strategies starting to be picked, and now a couple of soft tyres being selected. Everyone now, of course, has the freshest tyres on the grid. No one is using set tyres with the lobby restart, unfortunately. That's came into play after some unfortunate grid penalties due to the game. Still not having that fixed. I'm not sure how, but we will just have to deal with it. Liam Bowman on the front row. Kai Pearson in second place. Matthew Hall in third. BRT Furious in fourth. OP Benza and Mateo in fifth and sixth for a double Italian duo. 7th place, F7R Yossi. 8th place, Jizu Tom. NLR Dadopad starting in P9. And BRT Gabo rounds out the top 10. F7R, you're in P11. Gio and Gio Ghost King alongside each other with P12 and P13. Hazara on P14. NLR Keke, an unfortunate exit in qualifying 2. OP Louis Valentine, another shock to be out in qualifying 1. XF1, another shock to be out in qualifying 1. Jizu Macho as well in 18th. And in 19th and 20th, a double qualifying ban for a future racing team.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be interesting to see how FRT get on. Of course, they haven't had actually any running in qualifying, bar, of course, retiring in the pit lane. So they are going to be up against it right down at the bottom end of the field. I know, but we saw comments earlier on in the chat saying they're going to be 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 by the end of the session. Mr. Greenhorn, you're saying go in the chat. I think it's Tom that's meant to say ready up there in the Discord, but hopefully we will get going very soon indeed. Of course, we will go all eyes, the lights and foot to the floor, and of course we're going to see some really good action out on track. Avatar mentioned in the chat, but in console, Red Bull, I like the style who has Kai and Matthew. Yeah, Veloce Academy, of course, that team, they have been at the top of their game on Xbox for a long time, and Veloce Academy, I've got to say, fantastic team to have. Very well-known brand, of course, Extreme E they participated in real life. Jamie Chadwick, of course, amongst the drivers that they've had in the past. And really good to have them on board. And I cannot wait to see, underneath a new brand, Might be the same drivers, but underneath the new brand, they're going to have a hell of a lot of backing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Their PC team being very, very strong. Obviously, the real Veloci Esports having the likes of Lucas Blakely and stuff involved in that as well was still something that they carry along. And with the McLaren team looking to reclaim the F1 Esports title, you know, the backing they'll have in the academy is unbelievable. And some of the even the Veloci development drivers like Otis Lawrence, Declan Barrett as well, been in there. Two previous drivers to race in the world. Yeah, but we're going already, James. We are going. 5 red lights are on. On you go, James. Please take us away.
Here we go. It's Liam Bowman out and from Kai Pearson in second. Lights out and away we go, and Liam Bowman gets a fantastic start. And Kai Pearson is so slow, he's going to get overtaken by Matthew Hall in towards turn number 1. Kai Pearson bogging down off that start, expecting the lights to go out a little bit later, I think. Everyone's through turn 1 at Tarzan safely. Now into the banking we come. Mateo and Yossi are side by side coming through this part of the track, and actually Mateo tries to go all the way around the outside of the banking on Bender. A little bit of contact there coming out of the corner from Daddlepad. He's on the back of Tom, running up the hill now in towards Skyflack, and look at Matthew Hall on the back of Liam Bowman, trying to do the me, going around the outside of Skyflack, not going to get that one done. And Kai Pearson there hanging in third, ran off track slightly. Furious there on the back there and fourth. Bender there in fifth. Everyone is clean through though the first half of the lap. Very, very good stuff by everyone. Liam Bowman leads. Matthew Hall there in second. Kai Pearson there in third. The Veloci Academy up against it early on. Liam Bowman having that phenomenal start. The possible race strategies covered up there as well. Softs to mediums in terms of the tyres. Everyone, I'm assuming, is on a set of hards around here, bar from, bit of contact further down the field with Yaron and Hazara, bar from these two, who are battling out on this set of soft compound tyre. Hazara to the inside line on Yaron, gets it in towards Ari Lundijk at turn 13, and gets the job done into 12th position. Yaron there in 13th, Louis Valentine also on a set of softs, Axe on a set of softs as well. End of lap 1 though, Ross, Liam Bowman leads, Matthew Hall in second, Kai Pearson in third, remain as we are, but Louis Valentine down the inside line on a Yaron is going to get that one done, through Tarzan at turn 1, still side by side coming out of turn 2, brilliant racing throughout and all clean.
Yeah, through really cleanly looks like there, but Louis Valentine's still going there with Yaron wheel to wheel all the way through the soft compound of tyre. Not working as good as Louis might have thought, but he's got the outside line now. The traction on exit was fantastic from the Ferrari, and through he goes. And turn to number 7, he goes through there. Skivalak now comes up, they go through. 13 for Louis, 14 for Yaron. A mixture of strategies, should say. Majority of the grid on hards, 3 people on soft tyres. Hazara in 11th place, OP Louis Valentine in 13th, and Axe F1 in 16th place, all on soft compound of tyres. You know, trying to make those early manoeuvres and help their teammates out a little bit more, like so Axe F1 and Liam Bowman, OP Benza and OP Louis Valentine, who's getting moved up once again on Gilles on the inside line. What a move that was by OP Louis Valentine, up into 12th place now, chasing down Hazara ahead, who's also on the soft compound of tyre.
That was around the outside coming into turn 11. What a move that was from Louis Valentine. And now, under pressure, is GL because Yaron is swarming all over the back of him in the McLaren. On towards turn 1 at Tarzan. Don't make contact into here. Oh, it's going to be sketchy in towards turn number 1, but I think Yaron's going to get on top. Gil there holding out on the outside line. And then the Williams of Axon behind, having a bit of contact there, coming through turn 2. That was inevitable, I think, given how they were fighting. But Gil now ahead of Yaron. Yaron not going to be happy. F7 on G-League now, having a bit of a fist fight up the hill. Axe as well with MVR in there as well, on the back of Ghost King on the back of Yaron. Brilliant racing throughout. Oh, I've turned off the UI for a second there. Your Liam Bowman leads. Matthew Hall there in second. Kai Pearson there in third. At the end of lap 2, on to lap 3, we will come. Pretty much the top 10 have remained unchanged, apart from Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson. Off the start, with Kai Pearson having that wheel spin through turn number 1. Wish we had a replay cam to actually show you that, but Kai Pearson bogged down off the start. Unfortunate for him, he's dropping the position. Throughout the field, though, more position gains further from Louis Valentine and Hazara, 4 and 3 positions. Axe, though, has just had a moment coming through turn 11. Was that contact into turn 11, I think?
I believe so. It might have been some contact. He has picked up there. I'm not sure he's got any
Matthew
damage
Hall
from that. They might got away with it. Luckily, Matthew Hall on the inside line at turn number 1 at Tarzan. Liam Bowman can't get back on the inside, and Matthew Hall now takes the lead of the race for the first time in Zandvoort. Matthew Hall leads away for the Veloci Academy. A newly rebranded team are back and fighting away already. Big battles going on all the way across the field. Gabor right on the back of NLR. Daddlepad there as well. All over the field, James. You've got drivers thinking about manoeuvres left, right and centre. Liam Bowman, he's got a hard job now though of keeping Kai Pearson behind. He's got to make sure he gets back past Matthew Hall, you know, pretty quickly, because he doesn't want to get stuck behind Matthew Hall, who then invites Kai Pearson towards the inside line, giving him a slipstream, and you know, gets that Liam Bowman move done. And then Liam Bowman's got even harder task of overtaking the pair of them, so he's got to make sure he picks his moment just about right.
Yeah, definitely so. Avatar mentioned in the chat, by the way, if Kai and Matthew are running Mercedes, I'd be rooting for them. A clear Mercedes fan there in the chat. Solidly for us. They're in Red Bulls, they're in the Veloce Academy, but they're doing a hell of a job there in first and third position out on track. Furious, they're running with them, though, in fourth. BRT, the real shock, I think, so far in this race early on, but I think we're going to see maybe a change for the race leaders. Liam Bowman, the Flying Scotsman, on the back of the Brit Matthew Hall, in towards turn number 1, and he doesn't look actually entertained for the move, but he might have to be forced into the move. He draws alongside into turn number 1, puts the car just about a nose ahead. Matthew Hall there on the outside line, but that's all tactical, and Liam Bowman, I don't think actually meant that to go into the race lead. He has done, though. He's into the race lead. Matthew Hall there in second. Kai Pearson there in third. Strong start from the Scotsman. Matthew Hall though running up the hill once again, and Yossi looking very close on the back of Matteo, just joining on the back of this train, an 8-car train almost towards the front end of the field. Then Daddlepad and Gabor maybe splitting up slightly. There's certainly a split happening halfway down the field, and Louis Valentin, he's there down in 12th position in the Ferrari. That to the soft compound tyre, him running out of sync to everyone else might be just being costly. He's back within DRS range though this time around, as Yossi nearly gets up the nearly gets under pressure there from Tom in the background for Shazoo, but Liam Bowman leading the way. Matthew Hall in second, Kai Pearson there in third. But Liam Bowman, it's not the right place to be though, Ross, out in front right now.
Not really sure as he comes into this straight now. Both will have DRS behind him, Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall. They can really help each other here and trying to get a double move done down into turn number 1. DRS not active for Matthew Hall, active for Kai Pearson. Kai Pearson maybe under threat from PR Furious on the inside line. He does go inside line. Goes BRT Furious and the Aston Martin. The Red Bull driver Kai Pearson though keeps ahead. He's got the outside of Benza. It's Benza who's going on the outside now.
Beautiful.
And PR Furious got back out, and it's good from Benza and Furious. Furious made the mistake of going on the inside line of Kai Pearson, and OP Benza took it with open arms and got that move done for 4th place.
Do you know what? I read that like an absolute book in my mind, because I thought Furious was going to have that inside line. Kai Pearson was trying to block Benza on the outside line, but in turn, the phenomenal run coming out of turn number 1, that run is so OP around this track on the outside line. You want to be there around here, and Benza proved that. Got the outside line through 1, through turn number 2, beautiful stuff, and the OP man through, and he's into 4th, fresh from a good result last night as well. Yossi on the back of Matteo, looking to the inside line. Matteo's going to let him go for this one, and F7R have now got up into 6th position, but the Swiss man, who of course finished P2 last week, 2 weeks ago even, in Canada. Feels like a lifetime since we've been away, but Liam Bowman leads. Matthew Hall there in second, Kai Pearson there in third, a 6th of the way through the race here, going on to lap 7 out of 36 here in the Dutch Grand Prix, and Gabor is looking close there on the back of Daddlepad. Matteo as well getting passed by Tom down in towards turn number 1, and that is the Alfa Romeo. Oh, and he's been spun actually, Matteo. Mercedes round, wing plate damage going off the car as well. That was a real weird one in terms of that. I think actually, was that his teammate and Hazara that made the contact, or was it Gabor? I think it was Gabor. He's got left side end plate damage on the car. So the Aston Martin spun him round. He's got left side end plate damage on the car. That was a weird one, because it's almost as if he just pushed him and then ran.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Daddlepad looked like he was on the inside line almost, and it might have been a collision maybe from his teammate as well getting involved. But yeah, Gabor's got no wing on the left-hand side, left side end plate is gone on the Aston Martin car, and he's dropping down the field. It might be mostly just avoiding not having to cause any incident, but it might be over for BRT Gabor. I'm sure he won't retire, but he'll be well out of the race now. That wing will have to be changed immediately onto I would suggest a medium compound tyre for the Bunga Racing team. Man, his teammates up in 5th place though. They can keep on fighting on, but they really need a safety car if you want to bring Gabor back into this race.
Slight mistake there from Kai Pearson coming through Ari Lundijk. Matthew Hall now on the attack down and towards turn number 1. And do you know what? We're getting 3 wide and towards turn number 1 as well. Just about. Matthew Hall, though, to the inside line. I think outbrakes himself. And now Kai Pearson is through. Matthew Hall in second. Liam Bowman there in third. What on earth is going on out on track? What are these guys on? Kai Pearson leads the way. Liam Bowman in second, Matthew Hall there in third, and now Matthew Hall's running back at Liam Bowman. Do not do this. Up the inside in towards Sky Flag. Please don't. Matthew Hall there on the back of the Scotsman. But Kai Pearson in the lead. It's almost as if Matthew Hall had a bit of a front lock on the car and basically side damaged the back of Liam Bowman. Luckily Liam Bowman's ahead. Otherwise, I think that would have gone to the stewards.
Yeah, I think Matthew realised what he had done. He broke really late, gave his team in the position. Obviously, Liam would be free to be angry at that, but Matthew has given the position back at least, and Liam can fight back away against Kai Pearson, who's now well ahead. And we know Kai in this situation is cool, calm, and collected when he's in front and leading the way. Liam Bowman is going to have company behind him. Matthew Holm, I think, about that move again on the inside. Hopefully, this time, though, be a little bit cleaner and not just almost run Liam Bowman into the gravel. They'll come on the straight, though. F7R Yossi closing up now behind the Aston Martin of the Boogie Race team driver of Fury as a teammate, just picking up some damage one lap later. You see there Matthew Hall wants the outside lane, and Bowman's the inside lane of the corner. He defends nice on the inside lane. Kai Pitcher to give him some slipstream. Kai has to be on the inside line, but now he's going to be able to give Bowman a block into turn number 3 for his teammate. Matthew Hall still on the outside. Liam Bowman's on the outside now for the inside line for Matthew Hall. A constant switch to the lines. Liam Bowman got great exit out of turn number 4, and there you go, Liam Bowman through once again. Matthew Hall is not backing out just yet in the Red Bull. You see Kai Pearson there blocking him still, and still blocking him in around the outside. Now good Matthew Hall. Is it job done yet? It's still not job done yet. Kai Pearson putting a great bit of teamwork here, but through again goes Liam Bowman for second place.
But here he comes again, Matthew Hall to the inside line through turn number 9, just about to push the pass there on Liam Bowman. It's getting very dicey between Veloce Academy and NVR right now. Kai Pearson escaping up the road, Matthew Hall in second, Liam Bowman in third. Liam Bowman and Matthew Hall are going to be absolutely hating each other right now. Put it this way, they're in Veloce Academy. They have not changed. The drivers never changed, the team might, but Kai Pearson leading the way. Matthew Hall there in second, Liam Bowman there in third. And Francesco was proving my point, I think, in the chat there as well. Why are they fighting so hard? It's only lap 9 out of 36. It's not as if we're on the final lap of the race. They're fighting for every inch of ground on this circuit. It's good to see, but just hope it doesn't get too aggressive, and hopefully the driving standards will work out. And hopefully we get to see some really good racing, because that's what we want to see as commentators. That's what you guys want to see at home as well. But Kai Pearson leading the way, Matthew Hall there in second, Liam Bowman there in third. It has just settled down for now. I'm looking on the back though. Yossi is under pressure from the back of Yaron. Yaron there, sorry, Daddlepad even. That's splitting the pair. Daddlepad is on the back now of the front 7. Yossi there was on the back of Tom. I think Tom got the move done on Yossi last lap around as well, so he's through and he's into 6th position. Kai Pearson leading the way, Matthew Hall there in second, Liam Bowman there in third. Lap 10 out of 36, and already I think we've seen about as much action as we normally see around here in a 36-lap race in Zandvoort.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that one. Kai Pearson and Matthew Hall now have the chance to work together a little bit more. Like you see in the chat, Chris was saying dumped 50% of battery for one position. Yeah, a big sacrifice made by Matthew Hall, and it really hasn't really paid off. He's not really that far ahead of Liam Bowman. Liam Bowman has a chance to attack him once again, but Matthew Hall being in that DRS of a teammate ahead is going to give him that advantage to keep ahead of Liam Bowman once again. If Liam wants to get bypassed, I would suggest he has to burn a bit more battery if he wants to think about some sort of move, but I'm sure right now he'll just be thinking about managing his race a little bit more and possibly just staying in that third place position, because everyone behind is slowly catching up as well. Furious welcome into this fight along with Benza, Tom, Yossi. You see Daddlepad as well still in there. Louis Valentine though 1.6 seconds off, but up a lot of places off the start. That Q1 exit has not harmed his racecraft at all. He's up in 9th place, and that is a big call for outplayed racing. Ends on 4th, and OP Louis Valentine in 9th.
Speaking of big calls as well, GL is into the pit lane. He's coming now where Gabor is. I think they're side by side, coming through turn number 1, just off the camera shot. They're on the mini-map, which I'm following, and Gabor is ahead of GL. But Gil's on a set of soft compounder tyres. That is a very interesting ploy there by Geely. He's further down the field. He wants to try and get a big undercut. Undercut around here, about 4.5 seconds normally from a set of hards to a set of mediums. If you pit in 2 or 3 laps earlier than your rivals ahead, and if that is the case, 4.5 seconds gain, he's going to be right on the back of Matteo, right on the back of Macho, before all of these guys come into the pit lane. So Axe and Gil will be leading this race potentially when they, of course, come in. Axe, of course, is coming into the pit lane there in 17th position. He'll be in very soon indeed, I would imagine. But Gil, they're in 19th. Pit stop around here is around about 18.5 seconds. So bear that in mind, and bear this in mind in terms of the gap to the leader. Kai Pearson to Gil, 30.9 seconds right now. Gil was further down the field. I think he was out of slipstream range as well in that second group, with Louis Valentine leading that group right now. But it's a big undercut ploy, and it's a good undercut ploy, because there he goes to the inside line of turn number 1. Job done for him, and now he's got clear air along with Gabor to help him along. That's not a bad decision at all, I think.
Yeah, no, it really isn't a bad decision at all. Gio maybe had some damage as well, which probably cost him a little bit more time, but 11.5 seconds on a soft compound attire, we can see it's holding up pretty decently. Louis Valentine is catching up this train in 9th place on an 11 lap old soft compound tyre. How worn are those soft compound tyres? I am not sure, to be honest. It could be a mystery from what they are. They could be high, they could be a bit in the middle range now, but they definitely have hit the first drop off, and they'll be struggling as these laps keep moving on and on and on. But Liam Bowman has closed up a little bit of a gap here to Matthew Hall. I don't see him going for a manoeuvre yet. Lap 13 to 36 is still Kai Pearson, Matthew Hall, 1-2 for the Veloci Academy.
And your owners through on Louis Valentine. Louis Valentine needs to come in the pit lane, I think, because Azara has just bailed from that set of soft compound tyres, possibly on Tresetta Hards to the end of the race. It is the quickest strategy around here in terms of the actual ploy. I did a Hards mediums around here, and I won by 2.5 seconds, so I'm not going to boast anything out on track anymore in terms of my ability that I've got around here. But Kai Pearson leading the way, Matthew Hall there in second, Liam Bowman there in third. But in terms of the quickest strategy, Hards to mediums, probably the likely ploy, I think. Louis Valentine has got to really hope that Keki and Ghost King do not get on the back of him this lap around. Otherwise, he's going to be in severe trouble further down the field and further down the line when he goes on Tresetta Hards. He might even, actually, come in when the hard runners do, if he can keep those tyres fresh. If he can, he could come in for a set of medium compounded tyres, which last around about 19-20 laps around here that I've tended to see in my racing style around here. But Kai Pearson leading the way, Matthew Hall there in second, but Liam Bowman now on the back of him. Coming through Harry Lundijk, the Fan King once again, running towards turn number 1, and Matthew Hall and Kai Pearson thought we're going to swap the lead there, but again, a bit of a block running towards turn number 1, and Liam Bowman remains there in P3. But I think if I was in the Scotsman shoes right now, I'd just be sitting tucked within that rear wing and waiting for a mistake and try and force the weaker part of Matthew Hall to come out.
A mistake from Veloci Academy drivers is a wild shout, James. I have to say, these two not known for making big mistakes. We've only seen one massive mistake from this season being in Mexico between Rhys Linton and Kai Pearson as 2B announcing him. So we've seen that rear end into turn number 1, but I doubt we'll ever see that again from these two working really well so far. Benza still in there for some company as well to keep Liam Bowman on his toes. Furious, Shizu, Tom, Yossi, Dadopad, Jeroen just out of that DRS still, all of the guys ahead. So you know, everyone in this train so far is still keeping in this race. Dadopad, especially for NLR, some good points picked up for them as they're under conquest for a 4th place finish so far as well. So hopefully this race can amp up a little bit more. Almost about halfway through of the race, lap 14 to 36. It's still Veloci Academy 1-2 with Liam Bowman in 3rd place.
Yeah, and look at the BRT man, all Furious there in 5th position, looking very, very strong now on the back of Benza. Benza, in fact, is looking to attack Liam Bowman in towards turn number 1. Now, if you said to me this lap ago, then I would thought you'd be having me on, but Benza is going to have a go because Liam Bowman's deep in towards turn number 1. He goes up the inside line, doesn't get the job done though, coming out of the corner. But that is Louis Valentine in, and look what he has got on. Exactly what I thought. Set of medium compounder tyres. The best thing to do, I think, from that compounder tyre, from a set of softs, onto a set of mediums. Not only that, he's going to be side by side with Hazara coming out of the pit lane. He's got the thinner line, but he's going to be behind Hazara coming out of the pit lane. Louis Valentine, though, on a set of mediums, race winner, of course, in Monaco in round 1 of the championship. Is he now potentially looking at certainly at a very good points finish? But with this big undercut that he's going to perform, is he actually looking like a top 5?
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell in that case. If it depends really on if any some sort of carnage unfolds ahead to help him out, because obviously he wasn't about that midfield pack. If he can gain more position, he's going to have a lot more WOR medium tyres than the rest of the field, though. You know, these medium guys should be pinned in the next, you know, maybe 4 or 5 laps onto the set of medium compound tyres. So, you know, when Louis' tyres are 5-6 lap old, come the end of the race, they won't be good. And F7R Yossi is taking this massive advantage he's got coming off the exit of turn number 15 into turn number 1 now. Yossi on the inside, Tom defends the outside line. There's nothing he can do about that when he's getting blocked in by the Aston Martin. Yossi up into P6. Yeah,
beautiful stuff there by the Swiss man. And Tom had his measure earlier on in the race. Yossi now has his measure because he's just been sitting, saving the battery, saving the tyres, and he's coming alive now in the second half of this stint on before the first half of the race, of course. And he's on the back, yeah, actually in towards Furious, on the back in towards Skyflak. He's 73% of ERS. If you're wondering what ERS, by the way, is, and if you're new to Legacy Division and indeed to Formula 1, ERS is that percentage number that you can see in the middle of your screen. So on board with Kai Pearson, he's got 62% of ERS right now. And basically, he can use that wherever to his heart's content. Coming out of a corner, he will use about 3 or 4% as default coming out of the corner. When you break into a corner, however, all of that battery gets conserved up, and therefore you can gain around 20 mile an hour in terms of using ERS and DRS at the same time. DRS, of course, being the winglet coming up on the rear wing, and that being and forcing you to get more drag and to get more speed down the straight as well. Keki, though, is going to prove that now. It's absolutely my point. Your owner's into the pit lane, which has made it look very, very easy indeed, but Keki is through into turn number 1 on the back of Yorona. I was expecting a fight between them both, but Keki is doing his into none, and Yorona and Macho both into the pit lane. I think covering off Louis Valentine, because he is looking dangerous now, and it's 3 wide, splitting the pair like Moses through the part of the Red Sea in towards turn number 1. Can the Ferrari get the job done? Yes, he can. Louis Valentine, take your hat off to him. He is like Moses. He parts the Red Sea through, and he's into 13th.
Yeah, Louis making those early mediums work just right about now, burning the battery, trying to catch up to those ahead with as much of the power as possible. He knows that his tyres at the end will be very much worn out. Bass Spring confirmed in the chat, those tyres will be dead. And I tell you what, I can completely agree on that part. Louis Valentine, big ask on him to hold those tyres to the end. They will make it, but where will they be on is a bigger question for him. But he's making those manoeuvres early on Hazara on his early hard tyres. He's on about 37% ERS currently in P13, but he will carry on where he is so far and just keep pushing on. He's getting about 4 tenths already to Mateo ahead on the old hard compound tyre. We should be seeing some pit stops coming right about now. Kai Pearson, Liam Bowman, OP Benza. See a couple of people coming to the pit. Ghost King stays out. F14 Nico into the pit lane as well. Keke in. A lot of pit stops happening here, James. Medium tyres getting selected for the rest of them.
Louis Valentine, by the way, is coming out of the final corner. I think he's going to be well behind Kai Pearson coming out of the pit lane. It's actually going to be a lot closer than what we're thinking. Kai Pearson out of the pit lane. Louis Valentine is in this battle. He is going to be, I think, side by side with Benza coming out the pit lane. OP have pulled this off to perfection. And Louis Valentine is side by side with his teammate and is ahead on Benza. Brilliant call, I think, there by Louis Valentine. Yes, his tyres might die towards the end of the race, but he is in the perfect spot. When I meant he could get a top 5, I really did mean that, and he's there in 9th position, currently, technically, in a net P3, if the wear on those hards are to be believed, and if these mediums can get really up to temperature. Louis Valentine certainly on temperature, cooking on gas. He is through, and he's into P9 right now. You're rolling on the back of Axe as well. Axe is dropping off the cliff in terms of his soft compound tyre. He wants to try and make sure he can get to the end on that set of mediums. Therefore, he's staying out a little bit longer. GL as well will have to come in for a second stop. But Yaron now looking on the back. The easiest overtake you may see all night. Yaron is through, and he's into 13th on the back of Axe as the front 4 is in. Ghost King, however, staying out on a set of hards, and that might be for Playros onto a set of soft compound tyre if he stays out.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to lose currently for Ghost King. He knows that where he is right now, he's not really going to gain much for G-League. He knows if he just goes on a set of soft tyres, push to the end, he could pick up maybe some points for his team. Daddle Pad almost hit the wall on exit there. I'm not sure if he's got damage. I don't think he does, but it was close here on exit. OP Benza just missing in behind there on Matthew Hall. Matthew Hall now in 6th place. Liam Bowman still chasing down a Kai Pearson, who is about 9.5 tenths ahead. Kai trying to break Liam Bowman now of the DRS. If he does do that, it could be critical. But look at Mateo in the way of Kai Pearson. That's going to hinder his way of breaking Liam Bowman. Big moment here in the race.
It is a big moment in the race indeed. The Spaniard doing a fantastic job to try and defend off the back of Kai Pearson, helping not only himself but his team and of course OP, NVR and Veloce Academy just to boost that as well. Kai Pearson now ahead of Mateo, but this is wrong now for Liam Bowman because he's caught him at the wrong part of the track. Coming through this part of the lap, you can easily lose a second here coming through this part, but luckily for Mateo, he lets him through. So Liam Bowman there, fair play for Mateo letting him through. I would have done exactly the same thing in my situation. I'd be at the 107% rule if I was them, but Benza through on Mateo as well, down in towards turn number 1, and he is actually going to try and have a fight with him in towards turn number 1. He's not though. Yossi and Louis Valentine leading in the wall. There's a yellow flag through the final sector. I think that's Axe that has had a spin, and that is Louis Valentine off, going way too deep towards turn number 1. Rejoins track. Daddlepad nearly cost himself, nearly hit him there, the NLR man, but Louis Valentine off. I don't think there was contact between them both. I think it was just a pure outbreak himself on the back of on Yossi. And both of them outbreaking themselves into turn number 1, and Louis Valentine's got almost straight on.
Yeah, really close battle in there. I can confirm Axe F1 got a puncture on his front left tyre. 18 laps of soft tyres seems to be the maximum. Yossi Mateo though, wheel to wheel. Yossi on the outside line. The fresh medium tyre is so far superior of the old hard compound tyre right about now. Mateo staying out really hasn't helped this race at all. He wants to go with the soft compound tyre. We presume Furious as well on the inside. Good for Mateo, keeping it the way of everyone else, letting the battle in come in. So you can see his team now and behind him. He'll give him some DRS. I would presume that's into the pit lane very soon. Gio goes King now also into the pit lane. Now he'll be on to, I would presume, a set of soft compound tyres. What we've seen with Axe F1, 18 laps on softs, was the absolute maximum that he did. So these soft guys, Gio will have to pit again because there's no way he's taking his soft to the end. You see, big moment there in the race, massive big battle there. The Alfa Romeo on the inside lane,
what a move!
down to P7. Hazara there, Gio as well, Enelor at Daddle Pad, wants the inside lane, got the inside lane, and gets through on Hazara. Hazara's been swallowed up and taken for 2 positions by Tom and Daddle Pad.
I can't believe what I've just witnessed. Tom was on the inside line, Hazara on the outside line. Hazara is the one that has actually came out worse because he went deep in towards turn 1 and Daddlepad got through on him. And Tom now is up into 7th, getting them both. I wish I had a better camera angle with that because I was on board with Tom for the entirety of that turn 1. He wonders why they're slightly coming through turn 9, but that was brilliant to watch. Tom through and he's into 7th. He means business now, the Brit, and he's now potentially going to be on the back of Furious, closing him down. Really, really good stuff out on track. It's Kai Pearson that leads the way. Liam Bowman in 2nd. Benza there in 3rd. Thomas Ronhall, not sure if that might be the real Thomas Ronhall there in the chat. I hope it is, because it is fantastic to have him in the session. Kai Pearson, though, leading the way. Liam Bowman in 2nd, and now Matthew Hall hunting down on the back of Benza in towards turn 1. Not getting the job done. Daddlepad will, though, on the back of Tom, and that was potentially the curse for Tom. Getting that move done, putting him under pressure from Daddlepad, and now the German for NLR is through and he's into 7th.
Yeah, having a really good race so far for NLR's Daddlepad, also Keke and P13 currently scoring points, but not a lot for the team that's trying to see if they can secure a 4th place finish in this lighter division this season. Daddlepad though helping him on that conquest, 7th place for him so far, but with a Shizu Tom behind with more battery chasing him down, you'll see the rear diffuser light flashing on the NLR Daddlepad car. Benza! It's spun, and also Matthew Hall! Matthew Hall collected as well. Was it a collision between the two?
No!
I'm not sure what I've seen, but it's a spin there. Matthew Hall has been collected by Benza's spin almost.
I'm going to have to go back on this on the replay because I'm pretty sure Benza lost that by himself. Coming now through, I'm just watching this on the replay, so bear with me in terms of moving the drivers about. Benza has had a real lock coming halfway through the corner into turn number 8. He has spun. Matthew Hall's wrong place, wrong time. He's been caught up in that. I think he's got away with damage, which is very lucky indeed if he has. Veloce Academy now under the pressure, under the caution. Now, Matthew Hall having to make up all of that ground as Mateo comes into the pit lane. Tom now through and he's into 5th. Yaron is now into 9th position. Drama out on track, and Benza looking to the inside on a Keki just to top this off as well in towards turn 1. OP, very much bossing like they did here in EML Premier a couple of weeks ago. I hate to say that because Mitwee's in the chat. Mitwee absolutely cursed me for that. But Kai Pearson leading the way. Liam Bowman in 2nd. Furious there in 3rd. Furious is definitely not furious with that, but 2 drivers that are, Matthew Hall and Benza. Nothing you could do about a car spinning ahead of you.
Yeah, BRT given a free position there. Yossi though knows that he's faster than PR Furious currently. He's on 1 lap older tyres, but with a bit more battery in his name, he can really try and get past Furious and maybe plan on catching up to Liam Bowen and Kai Pearson and then inviting himself into that fight for the race win. Kai Pearson now doesn't have that little cushion of a teammate behind. He's got to just deal with Liam Bowman on his own. It's Liam Bowman and Kai Pearson almost for the race win, but I would not count out like a Furious, Yossi and Tom just about yet. Tom back in the DRS of Yossi ahead. Daddlepad I think about a manoeuvre again into turn number 1. Hazara 3.6 seconds out. The front train has really broken away. This race has opened up massively.
It has opened up, definitely. Louis Valentin and Yaron now 3 wide and towards turn number 1, and Yaron gets it deep on the brakes. The Dutchman through on the back of the Frenchman. That is Yaron through, and he's into 7th. Louis Valentin on 8th. And Hazara, to be fair, is staying out on that set of hard compounded tyres. Those tyres will eventually come to him. towards the end of the race. We mentioned about puncture territory coming forward, but leading the way, Kai Pearson leading, Liam Bowman in second, Furious there in third. If you're wondering, by the way, if that is the real Thomas Ronhart, it is, because I've just clicked on his channel, and that is the real Thomas Ronhart that we've got with us in Legacy Division. Pleasure to have you on board. Hope you are enjoying the action with myself, James Head, and Mr. Ross Greenhorn in the commentary box alongside me. Kai Pearson leading the way, Liam Bowman in second, Furious there in third, Yossi there in fourth, Tom, Daddlepad, Yaron, Louis Valentine, Matthew Hall and Azara top 10, then Benza, Keki, Macho, Nico and Ghost King top 15, and then a bit off the pace, Gabor, Justin, Mateo, GL, Gil and Axe. GL, Gil, by the way, did come in from that to the soft compound tire onto a set of mediums, and he is down there in 19th with 3-second penalty as Yossi now on the back of Furious. I was wondering why he didn't go for the move last time around, because he's cost himself a good 5/10 of a second there. And now in towards turn 1, Yossi is now ahead. So was this the F7R ploy, with him being on slightly fresher rubber compared to the guys ahead, them guys battling ahead as well? Is Yossi now going to be a contender in this race, Ross?
Absolutely, 2.1 seconds. See, looking at it, saying Yossi won tier 1 here, so could catch. 2.1 seconds back with around 10, 11 laps to go in this race. Yossi not one to be written off just yet. Kai Pearson and Liam Bowman will be playing, a bit of cat and mouse for the DRS at the front, I would presume. So Yossi, if he can get a move on, keep it clean for the rest of these laps, he's on matching tyres at the front too. He really could be involved in this fight for the win, and that's a massive, massive moment for S7R, who are already outscoring their rivals, outplayed racing by, a massive amount of points. Benzo in 10th, Louis Valentine in 8th, F7R in 7th, and now 4th as Furious gets through on a straight. You won't really see a lot of overtakes, and at turn number 13 they come then, Furious in 3rd, and Yossi in 4th.
The problem now with Yossi and Furious having a battle, they're going to cost each other time. 2.4 seconds. The gap was 2.2 last time around. So again, 0.2 of a second gone out. Furious and Yossi, all of them going through. And Yossi, again, is going to try and come back at Furious in towards turn 1. I think they're relying, though, more on Tom and Daddlepad in this battle. They're costing each other a little bit of time. It's a bit like until Tier 1, which I think I covered around here a few months back, around here in the Netherlands. And it was one of these races where we saw drivers absolutely fly up the road. I think it was EML even. Fly up the road. Ghost King was part of that lineup. He's down in 14th here tonight, but he was second around here in that race in EML, the league that I cover on a Wednesday night. And honestly, it's pretty much a very similar scenario to what we've got from there. Furious there in 3rd, Yossi there in 4th. Now, they're going to have to put differences aside. Lap 26 out of 36. This is the perfect time to drain the battery, to really put the pace on and try and catch the front two. Because at the end of the day, it's a team game, but Racer's instinct will take over, and Racer's instinct normally outweighs the team game.
Yeah, this really would be an interesting one to see how this plays out. Furious lost a little bit of time now to the guys ahead. You can see they're not catching at the pace they need to be, and Liam Bowman at the front is still just battling away with Kai Pearson for what looks to be his first race win in the WOR Legacy Division. A 3-race ban for the Scotsman in 2nd place. He's now back racing, I tell you what, MVR. Oh, and he's actually tapped him round! Liam Bowman has hit the back of Kai Pearson, and Kai Pearson has been spun round once again in Netherlands. It happened in WR Tier 1, and now Liam Bowman is the next to do it to him. Kai Pearson now down in 6th place. Liam Bowman leads the way, but with a potential penalty on the way for the Scotsman. A massive moment in the race.
And that was so great, we didn't even catch that on the stream because I was busy looking at Yossi and Furious and their battle. Liam Bowman, what have you done? The flying Scotsman leads the way with still a quarter of the race to go. But drama here in Legacy Division. It's not Legacy Division without drama, let's just face it. Liam Bowman leading the way. Yossi there in 2nd. Furious there in 3rd. 1.9 seconds the gap. And all of the things that I said about Yossi now needs to become true, because he now needs to get on that pace, needs to drain all of that battery as much as possible just to even catch Liam Bowman. Perfect opportunity. Kai Pearson's behind them. 2.2 seconds. These four now have got to work together to catch Liam Bowman. His penalty might overshadow, if he does get a penalty, it'll overshadow the end of the race. But Liam Bowman for now, leading the way out on track. Lap 20 out of 36. Yossi there in 2nd. Furious there in 3rd. Tom in 4th. Daddlepad in 5th. And if there's not more of an instinct as Louis Valentine goes to the inside of the Dutchman Yaron into turn 1, job done for him. He's through and he's into 7th position. But if there's no more incentive now for Yossi and Furious to get on with things, it's now. Let's clear track ahead. Go, go, go.
Yeah, 2.1 seconds the gap currently between himself and Liam Bowman. About 8 more laps of racing to go between everyone on this grid. Still a lot of positions to be fighting for, to be fair. Matthew Hall getting through an F1 Jeroen, but Jeroen not making it easy for him. Jeroen gets back through and into P8. OP Louis Valentine crucially overtakes one of the title rivals on F7R Jeroen. Louis Valentine promotes himself into P7. Giving OP the little bit more. It's Louis Valentine spins! He spins, as I say that. The commentator's cars bites him back, and now Louis drops all the way down in the P15 and probably out of the point scoring positions. I am so sorry, Louis. That's a commentator's curse by me.
That was a commentator's curse by you, for sure. I'm glad you're owning up to that fact. Louis Valentine, though, I was just about to say on the tip of my tongue, his tyres looking like they're going off, and then he does that about 5 seconds later. So Louis Valentine spins. OP are having a disaster class out on track. Somebody that isn't, though. Liam Bowman obviously out in front, obviously making that contact with Kai Pearson. He's still there out in front, the Scotsman. Yossi there in second, Furious there in third, Tom in fourth, Daddlepad in fifth, and now Jeroen and Benza are side by side. F7R and OP, where have we seen this one before? Round the outside of turn number 3, in towards Ari Lundijk at Hugenholt even at turn number 4, and that is Benza ahead. But is Jeroen going to have a fight up in towards Skyflak? You know you want to try the B-Tech James head move around the outside of Skyflak at turn number 7, trying to get the job done. He doesn't, but somebody is. It's Keki to the inside line of Matthew Hall, coming through Skyflak. They're side by side, and they're just about rub wheels. Matthew Hall getting out on top for that one, and now dives into the inside line on the back of Jeroen. Force them nearly off wide there into the gravel. It's phenomenal fighting between them both, 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark. They go through as well with Keki and Nico. Where the hell has Nico came from? In FRT, he's 11th position, and now he's on the back of Keki into towards turn number 11. Can he find the way through? And now on the inside line for turn number 12. Remarkable race from the FRT man, and he's surely through in towards Ari Lundijk. This will be brilliant if he can pull it off, and he has. The Hassman through, and he's into 10th like a bolt out of the blue. Matthew Hall now on the back of Jeroen. This race kicking off big time. Liam Bowman leads. Yossi second, Furious in third, and Matthew Hall now coming once again at the back of Jeroen in towards turn 1. Still 2 by 2 and behind. Keki outbreaking himself in towards turn 1. That's Nico position every day of the week. He is soon he's into 10th. What racing out on track.
I tell you what, for the whole lap there, fair play to everyone involved in that battle, because that came out so cleanly. No spins, no damage. Ghost King on the outside now of NLR Keki. Keki can't lose 2 positions in 2 corners, surely. He wants to get that position back. He knows it's crucial for NLR to get these points, and he's got the outside line, but it's not going to be enough as Ghost King's still on the inside line. He's burning the battery. Keki's in there as well. Outside line for Keki. He touched the grass. He has to back out, and NLR Keki loses 3 positions in the space of a lap and a half. Disaster for the Finnish driver. I cannot believe it. It's Macho now up there in 12th as well. Ghost King, Nico, FRT Nico looking for 9th place on F7R Jeroen now. Nico is absolutely flying for FRT. Up at 9th place he goes. Jeroen backs out and lets the German through.
He's inspired by the 2016 world champion, I think, Nico Rosberg. Nico there in 9th position. Fantastic move from him. Jeroen now on the back foot. He's got fresher tyres as well compared to Jeroen, so he can easily pull away. Ghost King knows the danger here. He is on the one, on the back of Jeroen. He's not going to get the job done this time around. In fact, Jeroen's coming right at Nico and towards turn 1. Job done for him. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. That's Louis Valentine, I think, round on that sort of soft compound of tyres for slight spin. He's got the car back going again, so no safety cars of ESC so far in this race. Why all of that has been happening, by the way, Yossi, 1.3 seconds now off the back of Liam Bowman. His pace clearly now better than the man ahead of him. He saved that tyres in the first part of this medium stint, and he's now beginning to come alive. The Swiss man who finished P2 last week in Canada, or 2 weeks ago even, in Canada, now looking potentially to one-up that and get another win this season. Liam Bowman leads the way, still with that overshadowing penalty perhaps coming his way. Yossi there in second. Regardless of what you are affiliated to, regardless of what you're watching, I hope to God these final 5 laps are going to deliver.
I really hope they do. Nico back through into P9, and he's going to start gaining some ERS now along with the Jeroen and Ghost King, and he sees Sejun Macho as well invited into this with 50% battery but older tyres. Ghost King though, 4 laps fresher mediums than everyone else. Jeroen under pressure from Ghost King behind in G-League in the French outfit, doing their best to see if they can score some more points in this race. They got Jules outside the points, Ghost King in the points, Ghost King moving some moves, Matthew Hall through an OP Benza, championship rival for them. He gets through an F7R Jeroen goes back up the outside on Nico, he breaks late though, and Nico gets back through in P9. and Ghost King's evaded on the outside line. Now the inside line switches to. He hits Jeroen wide, and Jeroen now loses 2 positions again because Macho puts him in another position from just being a freelance stand-byer. What is going on in this race? It's completely ramped up in the last 3 laps.
It's absolutely mad, and you got Benzer on the back of Matthew Hall as well, just ahead of this. This is an absolute crazy race here in the Netherlands. They say the Dutch deliver. Definitely delivering in spades here. Liam Bowman leading the way. Yossi in second. Furious there in third. Tom there in fourth. ESV Bobbert saying Girona surely got damaged after his hit with Louis Valentine. Certainly looks that way. I think Ghost King as well is now struggling on the back of Nico, so he may be now feeling the effects of his work on those tyres and maybe a little bit of damage as well. But Jeroen now overtaken by Macho. Macho there in 12th position. I think with Jeroen, he's got left side end plate damage on the cars. Furious is now attacking Yossi in towards turn 1 on the minimap. Gets the job done before we can get to the cameras as Furious is through. And he's into the second position. Maybe in the net lead of this race, though, if that penalty suffices in terms of the stewards later on in this race, as Macho and Ghost King are side by side. I don't want to keep chopping and changing the cameras, guys, but we have to if the racing is this good, as Liam Bowman leads from Furious in second, Yossi there in third. Yossi around the outside of Skyflak was looking at the move there, not going to get the job done. But this now, I think with Furious and Yossi battling, is going to let Liam Bowman escape away. And again, with that penalty potentially overhanging him, if he does get that penalty, Ross, Furious will take the win, or one of the other guys in this top 5 will certainly benefit and take the win, as Gabor has had a spin coming through turn number 4. Is that going to be a late deployment of a one-lap safety car? No, he's got right side end blade damage though. Gabor round in the wall. Unfortunately for him, BRT's race, certainly for one driver, going from bad to worse.
Yeah, everything's kind of calmed down a little bit now, luckily. Furious and Yossi. I've got Shazoo Tom behind for some company as well, though. Yossi's catching and catching and catching on the straight with the DRS on the slipstream. No battery used. He's backing off the throttle. He wants that DRS for the final few parts of the lap. 1.7 seconds is the gap between Liam Bowman and Furious. Unless a big collision happens behind, I think Liam Bowman knows the inevitable could be happening for his race win. But Furious and Yossi and Tom know this is for the race win. Whoever is in that second place could be promoted into that first place spot. XF1, the other MVR driver, had a struggle of a day. He is now spun again down in P20s. Another Keke and Hazara going wheel to wheel for the sector 1. Now Hazara's got the outside line. Keke on the inside of the downhill corner. Jeroen braking early. Keke's been boxed in. Hazara's got the outside line.
How?
And Hazara is up in a P13.
How's he got that around the outside of the banking? It never pulls off here in sim racing. It does in real life. Never around the outside though in sim racing for Hazara. Brilliant stuff though. Keke now back up the inside line in towards Mulder at turn number 8, trying to get the job done. And the AlphaTauri fights on the back of the Mercedes. This is insane. Liam Bowman leading the way with only 2 laps to go out on track. And Furious in second. Axel retiring into the pit lane. Gabor going for fastest lap attempt, I think, there as well in the Aston Martin. But here comes Yossi again, the Swiss man. Now to the inside line. Like Lindt chocolate and smooth as silk. Job done for Yossi. He's through and he's into second. Furious there in third. Tom now in fourth. Now if I was Yossi, 73% of EOS. 1.7 seconds the gap. He has saved all of this battery for the final lap and for this pursuit on Liam Bowman and to get the race win. But he's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. And for what? He overtook Furious. Axe was coming out the pit lane, I think, on the other side, well behind. And Yossi has got a very unfair 5-second penalty and comes to show Cody's has rigged potentially this game. That is definitely getting removed from Yossi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it might have been just one of those annoying illegal overtakes. It wasn't illegal on Furious for him. I think that the car coming at the pit lane caused Furious to go a little bit wide or something that's caused that, illegal overtake to come up on the screen. Yossi knows it's getting it removed, so he's carried on. And well, you can say that you can say in the chat as well, Luke says that will be removed. That is very good to hear for Yossi. His race win is still in the cards. 1.4 seconds is the gap. We can see Liam Bowman in the sights now. The jump up to one final lap of racing in the WR later division for this week in Netherlands. Liam Bowman's led all the way. He had a slight collision with Kai Pearson on around the lap 28, I believe Furious. It was. Yossi Furious though. Furious on the outside line. Yossi's got the inside line. Yossi's got the inside line again. He's still on the inside. I think it's going to be happening now for Furious. He's burning. He's burning. He's burning. He knows he wants to get past. He knows it's for the race win. He's got the inside line, but he's been hit again by Yossi. They're battling hard, but Furious into second place.
Not for long though, because Yossi's on the back. He's used up all of that ERS, 22%, but he's now on the inside line and towards Skyflak. Not going to get the job done there, my friend. Liam Bowman leads the way in all of this fighting, letting Daddlepad save a bit of battery, and they could still come at the front too in second and third. Certainly in this, Matthew Hall is through on Benzer as well. That's in towards Skyfleck. That's a good move there from the Red Bull man. But Liam Bowman leads the way. The Scotsman leads. Daddlepad making up the inside line of Tom. That's Justin Zayikor, by the way, in the background. But Liam Bowman now coming through the Scotsman. The Flying Scotsman here in Legacy Division. On course, returning back from a 3-race layoff. He is coming back to brilliant form, but another penalty potentially going to overhang him in terms of this race win. Liam Bowman now through the final corner at Ari Lundijk on the run toward the line. Liam Bowman wins, but watch out for Yossi. Going to get the move for second. Just about gets him across the line, I think. It's so close with that penalty. I think he's ahead of him. Liam Bowman wins, though. Furious there in second. Daddlepad there in third. Photo finish, though. Yossi there dropping down in sixth. He will be second, though. I swear he got him by about 200ths of a second. We'll confirm that in a second. But Liam Bowman taking the race win. And more photo finishes to the line because Mateo's just got Jeroen for 11th and 12th position as well. Phenomenal fighting through the race. What a race in the Netherlands. Maybe the race of the season. Liam Bowman wins. Furious there in second. Daddlepad in third. That is what you do. And NVR back where they belong. Back on top.
Yeah, Yossi, I believe, has got BRT Furious on the line. The 5 seconds will be getting removed. He's got him on the line just so potentially F7R close the gap to Outplayed Racing. Yossi outscoring Benza. Jeroen, I believe, will be ahead as well of OP Louis Valentine, who finished in 17th place, so no points for him. A big day for F7R. A big day for BRT as well, with Furious on the podium no matter what. You know, what a race in the end. The final few laps just turned into some fantastic racing all round. Yeah, a couple of collisions here and there, but nothing to complain about. FRT Nico and the driver of the day, I have to say, that was one of the more underrated performances we have to say, James, by the FRT team, and Nico in 9th place.
Yeah, complete underdog. I was having a look there as well in the on the live stream. 300ths of a second between Yossi and Furious right at the line. Phenomenal race from Yossi. Absolutely deserves that for F7R. But in the end, the Scotsman comes out on top. Or does he? We don't know. We're going to go into next week, perhaps with a lot of questions more than answers. And Liam Bowman takes the race win, for now, out on track provisionally. NVR deserved this race win. He controlled that race throughout. Him and Kai Pearson would have had a hell of a battle for the race win, though. Let's just face it, without that contact, it would have been brilliant to watch. Veloce Academy slightly robbed, I think, as well, with that little bit of a punt, if you like, in towards turn number 1 from him. But as Liam out on top, for now, all provisional results, by the way, I'm sure there'll be a lot of stewards reports to come, but for now, it is Liam Bowman out on top. Yossi will be second by 300ths of a second ahead of Furious, so that penalty definitely getting removed, and it's even closer, actually. 1300ths of a second separating second and third in that race. Furious there for third, Yossi there in second, then Daddlepad in fourth, Tom there in fifth, Kai Pearson there in sixth, Benza there in seventh, Matthew Hall in 8th, very unlucky out on track. Nico, 20th on the grid up to 9th, and 18th on the grid up to 10th for Macho. Phenomenal runs for them, underdog performances of the day. Mateo, Jeroen, Ghost King, Keki, Gil top 15, Hazara, Louis Valentine, Gabor, Justin and Axe, the 20 drivers finishing. Axe, of course, retiring in the pit lane and causing that 5-second penalty from the back of Yossi. Wow, what a race we have just had. We need an absolute lie down, I think, in terms of that. Fantastic racing out on track. And OP just informed as well in the chat, get the fastest lap point with the man that went on that compound tyre, which I think was Louis Valentine.
Yeah, and once again, what a race in the end. I believe every race I've commented this season has been filled with some sort of controversy or just fantastic racing. And I tell you what, that is definitely one of them that'll be in the top 3. Qatar was good, so was Canada, but I tell you what, Netherlands could take the top spot for me. That was so enjoyable to watch. I hope it was for you guys as well. I seem to had a couple of good amount of views there as well for the stream. Thank you for tuning in once again to the WOR Legacy Division. A possibility of the stewards changing the result, but Liam Bowman can hang his head high for it's been a pretty good performance.
Yeah, it's that Thomas Ronhar pull. We've had more viewers in the last 2 rounds of the Legacy Division, all because Thomas Ronhar was in the chat. That is the pull that we have here in WOR Legacy Division. That's the pull that me and you have as a commentary duo, I'm sure, as well, Ross. But next week, we go to Japan, a track that I have seen around this track produces race upon race, action upon action, in terms of brilliant racing. And next week in Japan, it's going to be very interesting. Whether you're here or not is one thing. Whether the drivers, though, are going to keep their clean driving standards is another. But Japan should deliver.
I really hope Japan does deliver. One of those tracks you look forward to, that Sector 1 being a bit of a tricky S section, but Sector 3 packed with great overtaking opportunities. PSGL F1 James, you'll know especially such good moves happen on the last final laps into the chicanes as well. Sammy Chetney knows from Veloci Academy about that last lap move into the chicane, and I tell you what, I look forward to it next week.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be very interesting to see how Veloci Academy do, and in fact, how all of our teams do as well on track. The standings, I'm sure, are getting updated as we speak right now, provisionally. We've got 3 rounds of the championship to come after Japan. We're in the final stretch here now in Lexi Division, but another win for now for Liam Bowman out on track. A phenomenal win at that as well. Abu Dhabi to come with the final sprint race of the season, and then Brazil. And then a race we've got in real life, which we have to wake up to at 6 o'clock in the morning. Thank you so much, Formula One. It is Las Vegas there on December the 12th, just 2 weeks before Christmas, 2 weeks before Boxing Day. And that is certainly going to be an early Christmas present out on track as well from our drivers. But Mr. Ross Greenhorn, it has been an absolute pleasure. I said the same last week, but you were back here again this week. We should have Jota back in the commentary box next week, all being well. He should be back. But Ross, it's been an absolute privilege to have you alongside me in the commentary box. Any final thoughts on what you've had to see in Lexi Division this season so far?
This title sways either way every week. OP have a bad week. F7R have a bad week. Veloci Academy collide with each other some weeks, but I tell you what, James, this title ramps up after every single race. Japan will be so good towards the end. Abu Dhabi, Brazil as well, and Las Vegas, which could be a possible title decider. I look forward to all the races, and I hope you all do too as well.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Looking at the standings, by the way, I think the results are getting inputted right now. Judging by what I'm seeing in front of my screen, Outplayed Racing lead the way by 40 points over F7R right now. I think, as I say, the result is still getting input in terms of their actual results on track, so it will change. But Outplayed Racing out on top, F7R there in second, and to be announced, which is now, of course, Veloci Academy in third. And actually, the standings are done, so I can read this out. Outplayed Racing on top, 372 points to their name. F7R in second on 332. To be announced now, of course, Veloci Academy in third on 262. Bunga Racing Team in fourth on 232, overtaking Team Jazoo, which is interesting. Fifth there for Team Jazoo. Novus Racing in sixth on 237. That's wrong, because Novus Racing's in sixth on this screen. They should be fourth. They're on 237. As you can tell, it's getting done live. NLR in 7th on 191. Then G League 8th on 156. Parnell Racing in 9th on 142. Then ET8 in 10th on 105. Future Racing Team in 11th on 91. And Nexus Racing in 12th on 35 points. So that is the rundown, provisionally, of the results from this week here in the Netherlands. But we are going to be back with you, of course, in Japan in a week's time. I'm certainly going to be there. I hope Ross will be there alongside me. If not, it will be Mr. Jota. But what a race that was. We're going to have a lie down. We're going to leave you with our sponsors, Next Level Racing and GridFinder. Thank you so much for watching WOR Legacy Division. And until next time, goodbye.